is your AC, your armor class. And then if you have a spell save DC, you can put that into the blue.
Oh, holy shit. Wow, I can't believe I'm 5th on a 14. That's terrible. 3. Alright, well, I will be the strong silent type this evening. Make up for last week.
So we'll do it that way. I'll give you guys like a chance to respond to how things work, and we'll see how this works. If it does not work well, it does not work well.
Well, it's a process.
It's a process. We'll figure it out as we continue along.
Pete, you awake?
Yeah.
Alright.
Striking a second wider. Very easy to tell who's talking.
It's just, oh god, it hurts. Okay, we're
good. Yeah, Thangard, I have that currently.
Oh, how do I do that? Because right now it's just, I have it on my iPad right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not giving me any kind of info.
It'll work. Oh god.
Right.
Let's do this.
Okay, so the last time we left off, the group of unsuspecting travelers had made their way to the town of Loudwater and began to meet each other in a dark tavern, kind of dimly lit, named the Green Tankard, also just known as the Tankard to the townspeople who were there. After a few minutes of just kind of drinking and eating and enjoying their fill, all of a sudden, there was a giant blast that happened. There was a goblin attack, which this town of Loudwater has been dealing with for quite some time. Just a very, very annoying goblin infestation of random goblins attacks that have been attacking their food and supply trains that have been leaving there to do some of their trade business over land, as well as attacking some of the boats that have been leaving Loudwater throughout the from the port that along the river Loudwater that this town is situated and named after. So the goblins came in searching for this item called the Horn Totem. As our team and our roundy bunch of individuals were able to beat and destroy the band of goblins, Mr. Matrim did a fantastic kind of Legolas shot and just shot one straight through the back of the head, as it taking the eye right out the eye socket, right at the same time as a javelin came and pretty much just hamstringed the same goblin, basically just adding some nice insult to injury there. They then proceeded to find a mysterious note that was on one of the goblins that basically outlined saying, "You need to get this thing back. We have a ritual that we are needing to prepare for. Basically it was from the goblin spellcaster who is attempting to resurrect this goblin king that many people are that we don't know a ton about at the moment. The team and the party went back to the Tankard, where they also met Lady Moonfire, who also informed them of a children and child snatching ring that has also been plaguing this area of the country, and has been quite a predicament and thorn within the people of Loudwater's side. They then retired for the evening after much drinking and some interesting nighttime conversation. They retired for the evening, and they awake the next morning in the Green Tankard as we continue along our adventure to see what happens and where things progress from. Alright, so guys, you guys are currently, I'll take us back over to the Loudwater area. You guys are all, apart from, I'm going to actually do one real quick thing. Delete. Paste. Okay, so you guys are all hanging out in Le Tavern. You're hanging out in the Tankard. You've just woken up. Probably came downstairs for your morning meal of some form. It seems as though a few of you are kind of straggler. There's a few early risers that wake up and come downstairs a little faster. You who are a little more tired and a little more groggy. What do you guys do?
Am I here yet?
No.
First.
Okay.
So technically,
No, you're token it.
You're not here there.
Well, I want to
Okay,
know.
there we go. Oh, I got confused.
Position
I do that a lot.
outside against the wheel.
Start. So what do you guys do?
Okay.
Good thing.
Yeah, go Vanguard. That's right.
I just went. I said I want to know who moved me from my outstanding sleeping spot against that wheel out on the road.
Well, Salix is already awake and is not in the room, so you're in the room by yourself.
So I think that's myself very quietly. Then I wandered downstairs and then asked that out loud.
You say, good dwarf. The city guard almost drove you away, so we brought you in for the night.
Clarissa
Right.
then comes downstairs, followed by one of the city guards from last night, and she kind of like shoos him out the door. And she's like, "Oh yeah, we had to distract them. Good morning."
Must have been quite the distraction.
Shouldn't he be
Also,
guarded?
Gnome, try and keep it down because I don't sleep and I could hear everything. I was just down the hall in my little elf trance. You have quite a
I
set of
can't
lungs
help
on
it if
you.
your ears are.
That poor man.
At which point Clarissa kind of takes the time to straighten her hair and kind of, even though it's like a naturally kind of wavy kind of curly thing, she attempts to straighten it, try and make it a little more presentable. It doesn't really seem to be having much effect at that point.
So, Salix kind of looks around the room, and everyone who's in their currently unofficial party says, "Okay, everyone, let's talk about what happened yesterday."
I agree
Wait.
completely. Quick question for the DM. Do we know if the child snatching and the goblin thing is related? I don't remember the exact conversation we had.
You do not know.
I
You
was
just
hitting
know
on
that
her.
the town is willing to pay you a decent sum of money, or is willing to reward you handsomely if you should destroy if you should like take care of their goblin problem. And you also know that the child snatching ring is something that has been plaguing this area for a long time, and is currently kind of a thorn in these people's.
Okay, so the reward offered was just for the goblin problem, not for
Yes.
the child problem. Okay, well then I suggest we go talk to Lady Moonfire and find out whether or not these two things are possibly connected, and if she has any more information.
Can our party split up into multiple groups and accomplish different things this morning?
You can if you want to. If you do that, I'll take we'll kind of take a moment and address one group at a time, and then we'll progress from there.
Okay, I think
okay
before
with
we
that.
split up, we should talk about whether or not we should split up. That is
Okay.
just my suggestion. That's Tiaran's suggestion, is that we speak to her, because she did tell me I could stop by today. That was very, very nice, pretty elf lady. She seemed to be digging my moves. So I suggest shut
Blows a
up.
raspberry at you.
At this
Half elf.
Fair enough.
At this point, Karma comes out of the doorway where nobody could see him and says, "I say we stick together as a group."
All right, then we should probably also stop by the city guard headquarters and speak to the captain. See if we can learn anything from them.
Ew, I'm sure he will not want to see me, but that is not a bad idea.
You can wait outside, Clarissa.
That's probably for the best.
I agree with Salix.
Which is closer? Are they like
Lady-
in completely
We should
different
probably
parts
also
of
stop by the
planet?
marketplace.
Lady Moonfire. Lady Moonfire's house is actually outside of the town.
Uh-huh.
She's just off to the east side of the town. So
Gotcha.
she's basically on the complete opposite side of where you guys are at. You guys are staying on the western half of the Cloudwater.
And would the captain of the guard be?
Captain of the guard is the captains of the guard is on the western side. We're closer to where you guys are at.
I
It's at
agree.
the western. It's at the western gate. There's two primary gates that that outline Loudwater. I'll give you guys a. If you're watching the stream, I'll show you what the map looks like.
Cool.
Of Loudwater. However, I'll also explain it. So Loudwater is completely walled off on all sides, including the side that is even facing the river. There are two main gates. There's one off to the east, and there's one off to the west side. Fuck names. Tyrion, you came in through the eastern gate, and eventually made your way over to the western gate and to the Green Tankard when you entered Loudwater. There is a northern gate that also leads to the kind of bay and the kind of food area of the town. This is where people there's kind of a fisher's market, kind of an area where people will be able to get food, maybe some supplies, depending on what you're looking for, different things like that.
Okay. Well then,
Where's the tavern on that map?
I'm gonna agree with Sam.
It's like right inside like the west. Like if you're looking at the map, it's like right down here, over in this area.
And table the visitation to Lady Moonfire until we can get.
Lady Moonfire is out the eastern gate and off in some direction. You're not 100% sure. You just know that she lives eastern to the east of the town and up in one of the foothills of Mount Snow.
Okay.
Whatever I called it. I think it was Mount Snow.
Alright.
Star Mountain.
Cool. But then, yeah, I agree with Sailors. We should question the guards first, and depending on what comes of that, we can move forward. We could move as a group. I don't think that we need to go in and question them like 6 people at a time. So, I say we elect.
Salix would like to participate in talking to the town guard.
Clarissa would like to participate in talking to one particular town guard, but I'm not his boss.
Clarissa, perhaps maybe you should spend some time in my backpack during this conversation. Quietly.
Is that a sex thing?
Not a sex thing. Very much not a sex thing.
But it could be.
Last time I checked, her ears are not pointy, nor is she tall. So, we're 0 for 2. You're a lovely gnome. No offense intended. Not my style. Alright, so Salix can go. I say that we maybe just go with him and let him question. See what he can get out of it. He's a holy man, so.
I will join
Probably won't
Salix
beat me
as
through.
well. My rank as a infantry may help me in getting some information out of him.
You decided to stick with us?
Yes.
Alright, so
Could we explain
Vanguard
the
and
significance
Salix.
of the horn totem? Does Vanguard know what that is? I mean, we gave it to him.
We gave it to him.
but- So we know
And
that,
we passed around the note. Salix was Vanguard. Were you there
Oh.
when we discussed the note?
Well, I got a note, but it didn't say. Apparently, I missed something because I found out later on that somehow I found out the stats of it. But the note that I got didn't say that.
there were 2 different notes that we saw. Anyway, so one had the notes, or one had the stats on the item, and one had the note that we got off of Kerwig, which we think is one of the goblins who attacked. And the reason that the goblins attacked was because they were after that item, the horn totem.
That I gave
Right.
you.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So it is significant to our quest.
Yeah, so keep that safe. And let's. Okay, so.
Yeah, it should be able
we're
to be
still
seen by
waiting
all
to hear
players.
from.
It should be able to be seen by all players.
So. Karma, you want to stick together? I assume you'll be staying with us.
Yeah, Karma's tagging along. He's just being quiet.
Matrim, you awake, brother?
Yeah, I'm sticking around until at least the guards post. I mean, I'd rather not stick in town for much longer. I really don't like town very much. I'd rather get back out there and do something instead of just talking to people.
Okay. Well, it's
Okay, so
decided then. The
So
party
who's-
moves to talk to the guards.
everyone's sticking together.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right, so you guys make your way. You make your way out of the tavern, and then you start making your way north, up towards the western gate. As you approach the western gate, you see that the gate is raised up. It's normal, like the eastern gate. It is an iron gate that is always that you assume closes at nighttime, and currently it is guarded by two different human men. One is showing kind of wearing a very, very long red beard. He's got no helm on, but he's holding a giant spear in one hand, as well as just normal kind of chest plate armor. The other one looks kind of green, very, very green. Very clean shaven face, maybe just a little bit of scruff, maybe about 18, 19 years old, like not like definitely like really slow growing individual. He has a spear in one hand. Doesn't really quite really know what he's doing there. He seems to be constantly asking questions to the other guard.
This is the gate to the exterior of the city, or this is the gate to the keep?
This is the western gate. This takes you outside the city.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. And this is where the guard captain would be?
You guys don't know.
Oh, we don't know.
These are the first two guards you have come across so far as you've been walking throughout the town.
I'll ask one of the guards if they wouldn't mind directing us towards their commander so that we may speak with him.
Okay.
The attack yesterday.
About the attack yesterday.
Okay. Currently, you guys are standing about 10 feet away from them.
No, well then I'd walk. I'm not gonna yell at him.
Okay.
I walk up to him.
Okay.
Greetings. I was wondering if you Braves guardsmen could possibly direct my party and I towards your commanding officer. Just yesterday, we helped defend your town from a.
Which one are you addressing?
The one that looks like he's in charge, not the
red-headed one.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
the red-headed one.
The red-headed one.
You wanted to speak to our commander, are you?
That is correct. We feel like we may be able to aid in your town.
Well, you found him. What do you want? He seems kind of a very brisk, kind of like get to the point individual. He doesn't really seem to be much for small talk, as much you can tell.
Okay.
This whole time, Clarissa is
Son,
making
stand up!
Clarissa
stop leaning
slowly
against
makes
the
her way
wall.
over towards the younger-looking one, kind of winking at him the whole time.
And Tieran sort of just grabs the back of her hood and puts her behind him and pushes her back and lets Salix go talk to the guard, because now he's busy trying to keep her out of.
So Salix,
Guys.
a vanguard in the back to walk up with him to speak to the guard. He says about the attack yesterday. Do you know why the goblins might have attempted an assault like that?
Oh, I haven't the foggiest idea. These goblins have been a pain in our side for, I don't know, going on maybe 4 or 5 months. They started just randomly attacking. I mean, we've always had problems with goblins, but man, they've really upped their game. It seemed as though they were really hunting something down yesterday.
Karma comes up at this point. He says, "Do you have any idea where they're coming from?"
Well, it's not too hard to find. Well, every patrolman here knows where they're at. It's over towards the west. If you keep walking about half a day's journey from here, you'll come across this giant clearing, and there's a huge dwarven ruin over there. It's been said that our scouts have seen the goblins running into the mouth of this giant statue, but can't. But apart from that, anyone that has gone in there hasn't come back alive.
Do the goblins have a tribe name or anything that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of. They've just been killing good men of mine.
How many of these
Have
things
any
are
It's been getting harder to find him. This son over here just can't seem to get his act together. He doesn't know which end of the spear to keep pointed at the enemy and which one to shove in his own gut.
How many of those things do you think there are out there?
Hard to tell. We've seen the raiding parties have always been maybe about 10 or 12 at most.
Have you heard any rumors about this so-called Goblin King?
He kind of gives you a curious look and is like, Goblin King? Never heard of him.
Oh, that's a no. Oh, Ogre King. Sorry, Ogre King.
He still is, what's the difference? One's just bigger.
You're not wrong.
It's just a legend.
You kind of get the idea that this guy hasn't really been much outside of Loudwater. Maybe like within the foothills of Star Mountain, but maybe not really someone who's really kind of gone out and ventured much into the farther lands.
Okay, good sir. We spoke with your leader, Lady Moonfire, and she brought it to our attention that children have been being taken from your town. Would you know anything about that? And is it possibly connected to your goblin problem?
Well, if the goblins are behind it, you should be able to find them at the burrow, but more than likely the children are already dead. If that is who is taking them. But it's not the goblins' way. Normally goblins are normally a quick in out, but they normally do with a lot of carnage. The children here have been kind of taken just very quickly and without sound. Like, it's almost as though they go to bed one night and they're sleeping safe in their bed, and then next morning the parents wake up and they're just not there. No sign of a struggle, no nothing.
Are there any families nearby that have had children taken?
He kind of thinks for a minute. This redheaded guy kind of thinks for a minute and just kind of shakes his head. Just can't really think. Doesn't really appear to be able to think of someone. Think of somebody off the top of his head. No, none that I can say.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
He kind of shrugs, gets back to his post, and tries to start giving some more instruction to this young lad who is currently just standing.
I mean, I was just thanking him for me. If other people have other questions.
Yeah, does anyone have anything else to say?
Yeah. So back to this goblin thing. So say we go out there.
Looks over you and says, "Ah, a ranger. Haven't seen one of you around here recently."
So say we go out there. We solve your goblin problem. What resources do you have to help us, if any?
Well, unfortunately, I can't spare many men. Our men are got to be around here, either training the new greenhorns, or they got to be able to progress forward and keep patrol on the city. Never know when there's gonna be another goblin assault.
All right, so I'll go out there and kill goblins all day. But can you give us a little something to help us out?
He kind of looks over at the young boy and says, "I can give you him, but he's more likely to spear you rather than a goblin."
Clarissa cheers from the back.
Tieran would like to see that.
The guy steps up toward him, flashing his infantry insignia, and asks if there's any way he could offer us some horses so we can be on our way more quickly.
What do you ask him?
For horses, for mounts.
Oh, for horses? For horses, you'd have to go talk to Geralt over at the stables. It's only half a day's walk. It's not going to take you that long to find it.
Half a day's walk to reach the stables?
No, to reach the burrow.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, Jesus.
That's a poorly placed stable.
Oh, okay.
Clarissa barges forward in front of everybody and shouts, wait, you forgot to ask the handsome one if he knew anything about the missing kids. I'm sure that someone younger than this bearded monster over here," she kind of shoves her thumb at the captain, "I'm sure he probably hears more than this bozo."
Does he speak up?
The young boy kind of looks a little flustered and kind of like looks around at what handsome one are you speaking about, and then kind of realizes that you're talking about him and blushes intensely red. Like, you kind of get the fact that this kid hasn't really had much interaction with, well, anybody. He's like he kind of stands there quietly and kind of mute for a second and just like kind of staring down at his feet and a little embarrassed.
Clarissa walks up to him and like puts her hand on his knee and is like, "It's okay, lad. Speak up."
I'm so glad you said knee.
Look, I haven't had nearly enough alcohol.
Continue.
The young man looks up at his commanding officer and says, the commanding officer kind of just gives him a curt little nod and he says, "Well, I have seen them. I have seen the goblins coming and running around the foothills, but that's about it. I've always lived here inside the walls of Loudwater and barely been able to venture out much. Just trying to do my duty to protect the town. That's about all I can do." He's visibly shaken by just a lot of this at the moment.
Yes, you're very, very brave. You're a very brave lad. She kind of leans down a little bit to, and then she's like, "Do you know anybody who was taken, though? You look young enough that you might have known some of these children."
He thinks to himself, and he kind of just shakes his head very nervously and very quickly, not really sure what to say at this point. He seems to just kind of be really taken aback that anyone's actually paying attention to him and not yelling at him at this point. You can roll a perception check if you feel so compelled to see if he's holding anything back, or technically that'd be an insight check actually.
Sure.
If you would like to.
Just Clarissa?
Yeah.
I rolled a that.
He looks nervous. You kind of hear him. As he's been talking, and as you ask him the question of, "Do you know anyone?" He kind of lets an involuntary kind of squeak, and then grows real quiet due to the fact that he did that. It's possible he does know something.
Clarissa kind of turns back to the party, but mostly addresses Tyrion and says, the guard captain generously offered this lad service to us. I think we should bring him with us."
Salus agrees with her.
At this point, you can see the young boy's face visibly drain of any blood. He is now ghost white.
Matcham thinks he's just going to be more trouble than it's worth.
Let's ask him. Okay, well, his commanding officer said he would come with us.
Of course he'd come with you. What do you expect? We'll go wherever I fucking tell him to go.
That was more me talking out loud, thinking out loud. Fair enough. I like this guy, by the way. I wish we could take him. But
are you an elf that just thinks out loud to himself? What the fuck's wrong with you? Good lord, I knew there was a reason that we took some of your land.
Karma just shakes his head and
that's
starts
interesting.
walking away.
Okay. I asked the young one. Clearly, fighting is not your strong suit, but might be better suited as a guide for us. Do you know the land outside of these walls very well?
The young boy shakes his head and said, "Yes, sir. Yes, I know the land well enough, as well as anyone around here who's lived here all their life."
Would we be able to find you here if we require your services at a later time?
He looks up at the sun, kind of gauging from where the sun's at, and before he has a chance to respond, the commanding officer says, "Yeah, you can find him here. If you can't find him here, just check over in that direction." And he points his finger over in kind of off to the side a little bit. You see a kind of a rundown little shack.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, that's our guard post whenever we're not on duty. Gotta be ready at all time. Must be ever vigilant." And
I respect your dedication to your craft. And then I turn back to thank you for your time. I turn back to the party and address everyone who's still with us. So I guess Karma, you're out.
Karma, where'd you head off?
Now
I
you
just
start
walked.
walking
I
away.
just walked a little bit away, and I turned put my back up to here, so I can still hear everything that's going on.
Alright, so I'll address the rest of the party. Before we acquire this young man's services, indeed, before we move forward, I think we should agree which problem we should focus on first. There seems to be no clear evidence that the goblin problem and the child disappearance problem are related. If anything, they are most likely not, given what the guard captain said, though it is still possible. So we would be best suited in choosing one problem to tackle first.
So we
Clarissa
essentially
kind of crosses
Go
her
ahead.
arms and stomps her feet and says, "We have to find the missing children first. The stupid gobos aren't going to go anywhere."
I agree with Clarissa, especially as long as we hold the goblin's totem. It doesn't seem like they'll be able to proceed forward with their plans, and if this problem has been going on for months now, I trust the very capable town guard to continue to handle it while we investigate this other problem.
So we should
Matrim,
go speak with Lady Moonfire.
We could do that. I think that would be probably the next logical step in pursuing the children, if that's the direction we want to go.
I think we should head towards the goblins in the direction he told us to go.
Okay, so that was Vanguard speaking, right?
Yes.
Matrim says that chances are the goblins are going to come back and attack the city again. They don't know that we have that totem. They still think that shopkeeper does. So we need to go after these goblins first before they kill any more people. We don't even know if these kids are still alive.
Karma says from back here, more investigation is necessary here before we make a decision.
Well, Lady Moonfire's manor's on the way to the Goblin Ruin, or to the
That's
Dwarven.
what I was going to say.
We could stop there on the way and make a decision afterwards, could we not?
I was gonna say the goblin burrow is off to your west. Lady Moonfire's off to your east.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you said she was out on the west.
Nope.
No.
No.
Lady Moonfire's
Oh.
off to your east, and
Wait,
is out
we're
the
in
eastern
the
gate.
west. That's right.
You're on the western side. So if you're looking at the map again, if you're looking at the map again, Lady Moonfire is. I'll zoom in on this. Please tell me I can zoom in. Man, haha.
No,
Wait.
I misunderstood.
Yep, Moonfire goes off outside of this way. East Goblin Burrow is about a half a day's ride out to the west.
You didn't refer to it with constellations in the name of some elven god, so Tyrion could not understand your directions.
Exactly.
Clarissa just kind of harumphs and said, "Well, fine. Let's go talk to the half-elf. Let's go talk to Lady Moonfire first. But I think we should take this handsome young lad with us." And she winks back at the young guard.
The young guard kind of seems to once again flush very, very crimson. He's beat red at this point. Like you're getting the sense that this is the first female interaction he's ever had in his life, where a female's actually talk to him.
Karma says, "Might I suggest Tyrion goes and visits him while we investigate here?"
Vanguard points out that Tyrion probably has other motives as well.
I don't. I assure you,
Let's-
I do not. I merely gave her my word.
And that we should probably go
So-
towards the goblins instead.
Yeah.
She seemed more comfortable with him. I say, Karma says she seemed more comfortable with him. I say we go and scout the goblins and wait for him to come to us.
Matrim agrees, because it's already a half day's walk. We could wait all day for old Frosty to talk to his girlfriend, or we could just go ahead and go on over.
Salix
Wow.
needs to admit it, but he thinks we should go to the Dwarven Ruin as well.
Clarissa just kind of sighs and says, "Well, I suppose you're to be wanting some magic, so I guess I should come with you."
Can Salix convince the guards to take Garwin into protective custody?
Garwin?
Yeah,
The storekeeper?
shopkeeper.
You can try.
So Salix
I would
approaches
like to assist on that.
the Salix and Tyrion approach the bearded redhead guard captain and say, Captain, will you take the... We believe that the goblins were after one particular man yesterday. Would you take him into custody for a short period of time?
Who were they after?
Garwin of... What was the name of the shop? Garwin's Curiosities?
As soon as at the moment you mention Garwin, he kind of just gets this look on his face. He's like... He just gets this, like, very kind of glazed over, like, you've got to be kidding me look on his face. And he's like... And he then says, "Oh, that old coot. You know, if the goblins are willing to take him, then by all means let him have him."
He's one of your citizens, though. Shouldn't you be sworn to protect him?
He's not one of my citizens. He's just one of the people who live in this town. I'm just here to patrol and make sure that no goblins come in.
They couldn't even protect their own town wall, let alone a little shopkeeper.
At that point, he gets really flustered and says, "Hey, we're trying. We only have about 14 green, very very green lads, as well as only 2 to 4 only really good actual seasoned veterans here."
Salix turns
Fair
to
enough.
and says, we probably can't leave this goblin issue for too long. Clearly the guard is not capable of handling another assault if they do decide to mount one.
We're clearly capable.
Salix turns there
He
and
stamps
raises
his
an
foot on
eyebrow.
the ground at this point.
Sort of. I take Salix by the shoulder and take him out of earshot of the guard so that he doesn't get more incensed by us pointing out his clear incompetence.
At this point, as you're walking away, you kind of see the guard captain kind of just turn his back a little bit, but you get the sense that he's still going to try. Like, you get the sense he's still kind of trying to listen in a little bit.
And I merely say, "Very well, a half day's walk is a short time. I do not fancy my chances of investigating this missing children problem on my own. I will lend you my aid in return. Once we clear up this goblin issue, I would ask for your aid in helping me fulfill my promise to Lady Moonfire and
You can count on Salix.
investigating the missing children."
I can't speak for the others.
Right, I'm asking all of you, and I think we're all. I'm still like I just turned you away from the guard. I'm still in the group, but so.
Larissa just kind of tosses her pink hair back and is like, "Come on, I've ridden in your backpack. You know I'm with you."
Karma says both issues need addressing, regardless.
Can we hear you over there? Hello.
You've walked back to him at this point. Like you basically, like, as you were walking away from the guard, you walked back to where he's at right now.
Very well. I have the agreement of a couple of you, and that is enough for me. Let us proceed forth. And
Karma's
Okay, so Thangard's
response was clearly non-committal, though. He was like, "I'm gonna do my thing, regardless of what you guys do. I signed on to help you guys with the goblins. That's where I'm stand, but overall, he's just whatever."
Whatever, man.
Very well. Vanguard, what say you?
I'm in.
Okay. Well, that's 3.
It's
I'm
goblins to kill.
satisfied.
all right. So who's
I never
so-
turned down an opportunity to bash some goblin skulls.
All right, so
Let me suggest we
anyone need
proceed with
to-
caution.
Get
Perhaps.
any supplies before we leave town.
That took the words right out of my mouth, human. Your kind is always so quick. You have so little time.
I've had enough of this town. I'll be waiting for you guys outside the gates.
Agreed.
And with that, Karma and Matrim walk. Are you guys walking towards the western gate, or are you guys walking towards the eastern gate?
Western
Western
gate's where
gate
the
and
goblins
Goblin
are.
Gate, right?
At that point, Matrim and Karma, kind of without really intending to, both take off in the western, in the direction of the western gate, walking all of a sudden side by side. Karma kind of realizes he's walking side by side with him and stops and lets Matron continue to walk forward, and then progresses about 5 steps behind him towards the western gate.
Thingard
Question.
continues right next to him,
Yes.
because he's always prepared.
Okay, so Thangard, you said you're next to Matron?
Yeah, I'm right behind wherever you want
Okay.
me.
So Thangard's walking right behind Matron, and Karma walking right behind Matron, Karma, and Karma. So
Might
all
I
three of those guys are headed to the western gate.
Might I suggest that I take an alleyway?
You're just walking in that direction right now. We're still technically at the side of we're still technically over with Tyrion, Larissa, Felix.
Salix, might I suggest you and I keep an eye out for any shops, as our companions seem in a hurry. I would prefer to be prepared before we hastily engage in a battle the size of which we know not.
What are you looking for, Tyrion? I'm already ready to go. I was just asking the party, or asking the
No.
group.
No, I'm good.
All right, off we go.
So you're all just going to the western gate then?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. You're all headed to the western gate. As you approach the western gate, Matron gets there first. He's about 5 steps ahead of Karma at the moment. So Karma and Matron, you kind of hit the western gate at the exact same time. You look around and you see the older redheaded guardsman standing there at the gate right now, but you don't see the younger lad who was there.
I turn to the older guardsman. What happened to that youngin' you had with you?
Oh, you mean Gregory? Well, he started crying and sniveling, and we sent him over into the guard shed to kind of just get control of himself before we decided to send him even farther into more danger and trouble.
Okay.
So it's Karma and Matron there, right?
Karma and Matron are over there at the moment. At this point, Thangard has caught up, kind of catches the tail end of that little exchange right there.
I say, might I know where he is so I can talk with him?
Weren't you listening? I just told you, he's over in the guard shack.
Where is it, old man?
He angrily points right off to his right, and about 10 feet away, you see there's a really rundown shack.
And I start walking towards it.
All right, you walk over to the guard shack. What do you do? You walk over to this kind of rundown guard shack. The door is currently shut. What do you do?
I just go and open it up and go in there to talk with the kid.
You walk in, or as you walk up to the door, you make a perception check as you walk up to the door.
D20?
Yep, just the D20. Add your perception modifier. At this point, Tyrion and Salix have both caught up with.
Wouldn't Clarissa be with us too?
Yeah, and Clarissa.
It's tough.
All three of you have
He's
made it.
very short.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's very hard to keep track.
Very
Salix
true.
asked Matron where the young guardsman is.
19. As you approach, you hear like just a short little snivel and kind of just like a stomping of his boot against the ground. That's about.
I motion back towards the group to stay, and then I enter by myself.
All right, you push open the door. You push open the door. Sitting on as you enter, you notice that there is a table sitting there. There is a small off to your right. There's a small fireplace with currently no fire in it. The windows are currently completely shut and barred at the moment. The young man Gregory is currently sitting in a corner, hands just on the table, like completely covering his face, and you kind of get the sense that after that exchange, like he was not expecting that today, and so he's kind of just sitting there crying his eyes out, but trying to mask it as well as he can, although it does not seem to be succeeding though.
I say, Gregory, in a consoling voice, I say, Gregory, I don't even know.
He looks up at the mention of his name, and at this point, you just see that it is just tear like at his best efforts to hide this, it is just tear streaks straight down his his face, and he's just like, how do you know my name?
Your redheaded friend out there told me it, scoffing at the kid, not at the kid, at the boss dude, and I say, son, you're trying your best. You're very young. You don't know what you're doing yet. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll learn. You'll get better.
Edmund doesn't think so. He thinks I won't amount to anything. He told me I'm gonna be the worst person in the world. I'll never be able to. At this point, he just busted into tears, even worse than he already was. It's just he's completely out of it at the moment.
By the way, Clarissa is going to ignore Karma's hand motion and start to head over there.
All right, Clarissa starts walking in that direction.
Young guard isn't out there.
I say at this point, because I obviously realized that it's not getting any better, so I just say, you're doing your best, son. And I walk out.
That appears to kind of just intensify the wailing more than anything at that point.
Clarissa overhears it and then glares at Karma.
At this point, as Karma is literally exiting the building, Clarissa just walks right past him, and as Karma and Clarissa walk by, Karma, out of the corner of your eye, you just manage to catch Clarissa just kind of walking forward, just barely shaking her head, and just as she walks right into the room.
So she's not quite in the room yet?
She just walked in at the moment. Clarissa, as you enter, same thing. You see a fireplace off to your right, table, some chairs scattered about. About all you see, and obviously you see Gregory in the corner, sitting at the table with his hands now at this point he's completely just head on the table, sobbing his eyes out, hands completely trying to cover it as much as he can.
Clarissa just kind of walks up next to him and pats him on the leg and is like, "Hey, lad."
As soon as your hand touches his leg, he immediately springs up, jumps out of his chair, and is this kid is super wimpy and crying at this point. It's kind of disgusting to maintain and behold.
Lad, it's okay. Just tell me your name. I didn't catch your name earlier.
It's Gregory.
Gregory.
It's Gregory.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good name. It's a good brave name. She makes a little muscle flexing gesture.
It's not what the other kids say. I was named after my father. My father ran away.
Yeah,
they call him a coward.
Yeah, but I'm
named after a coward.
That's not you, though. That's not you. You are your own gnome. I mean, man. Yeah. Yes. She tries to be as encouraging as possible.
At which point he kind of tries to wipe away the tears and says, "I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Who are you, little one?"
I am Clarissa. I am a traveling magician from somewhat far away. I am with this band of adventurers who you saw earlier, trying to help your town out a little bit. And she kind of leans in encouragingly and is like, "You can be a big part of helping us. I hear you know the foothills very well. I would not ask you to risk your life in combat for us because you are so young and dashing. I would hate to get hurt, but we could use a guide."
When you mention guide, he seems to something kind of seems to click into his brain a little bit, and he's like, I could do that. I can get. Also, make a persuasion roll.
All right, that I can do. Okay, hang on. Let me double check.
I think it's D20 and add your charisma modifier.
Yeah, it's charisma. 18.
Yeah. Okay. He says he kind of shrugs a little bit and really tries to wipe his face clean as much as he can and says, I could do that. I can lead you to where the goblins are.
That's a good lad. Hang on, before we go out there, let me help you with something. I'm just going to use prestidigitation, which I'm going to DJ
Prestidigitation.
because I can never say it.
Prestidigitation.
Right.
Prestidigitation.
To clean his face fully, so it looks like he hasn't been crying at all.
All right, so you kind of wave your arms or you take your hands, kind of form this little ball, and then you kind of just like focus at his face, and all of a sudden his face and his hair just gets completely whipped back, and all of a sudden like there's just, like almost like there's this giant blast of air that just smacks his face. Hair just like you understand, his hair's about shoulder length. His hair just kind of goes right into the back, like, and then falls limp. His face is now visibly clean, and you kind of like, and there was a lot of dirt that came out of his hair and his face. Like, this is probably the cleanest his face has been in probably about a couple months.
Ah, there you go. Sorry about that, but you look even better now.
Gregory looks very confused and very impressed a little bit at the same time. He walks over. He says, "Thank you," and still kind of a hesitant but oddly kind of excited voice. Walks over, grabs his spear, exits the door, and starts heading in the direction. Well, shall we go?
Yes, let's go. Brave lad, let's go.
At which point he starts walking out the western gate and starts leading you towards, or out past the town of Loud. What do you guys do?
We have some kind of side conversation going on in the chat.
Yeah.
We should be covered.
Vanguard's outside, Matrim's outside, Karma's heading back towards Tyrion.
No, he's past.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I'm outside now.
And
The
Salix
gate's
is
right
with
by the chat.
Tyrion. Okay.
Salix and Tyrion are just waiting for Clarissa to come out,
Okay.
talking about their weapons.
So Salix and Tyrion are just waiting outside the guard shack, and what did everyone else do?
Nice mace, man. It's good stuff.
Okay,
Like
so...
javelin. It's very pointy and throwy.
I have 2 of them.
Karma follows shortly after Matron. Matron follows out the gate. Vanguard makes his way out the gate. He's very intrigued by the dwarven runes that were mentioned. Matron follows out the gate, feeling more relaxed now that he's out of the town walls. Karma follows shortly after. Yeah, guys, you don't need to say what you're feeling, FYI. Like, if you do that, I'm kind of assuming that you're just explaining that you're saying you're walking out the gate and saying, I'm feeling very impressed and very excited now that I'm outside the walls. Like, that's kind of how that comes across. So, just FYI.
Some people really like to self-narrate.
That's fair. I get that. If you want to self-narrate and be Noctis from LARP, go for it. This is completely out of character, but sure, go for it.
You're the DM. Everything you do is
very odd. Anyways, okay, cool.
All right,
so at this point, Matron, Vanguard, and Karma are all outside the walls, kind of walking westerly. They're kind of following the path at the moment. They're probably a good solid 20-30 minutes ahead of you at this point. That Clarissa, Tyrion, and
Can you give us a description of what the environment's like?
Yeah.
Is it forested or is it all?
yeah, I'm about to get to that.
Okay.
So it's currently. I'm just trying to make sure I have all this kept in my head. So it's currently Matron, Vanguard, and Karma in one party, and then we have Clarissa, Tyrion, Salix.
They've been going. That was a very long conversation, Clarissa.
Gregory, all in another. So they're about 20 minutes behind you at the moment. So Matron, Tyrion, or Vanguard, and Karma. You guys are walking along. It's a very defined path that you're walking along. It obviously is a road that has been traveled quite a lot, quite often. You can see ruts in it where there's been wagons pulled through here. You can see horses where horses and people have walked. God, this is sometimes very difficult to read all at the same time. So there's forests. There's like a deep forest that kind of gives way to like some different foliage off to both your left and the right, along the road. You make it about half an hour outside before you realize you really have no fucking clue where you're going, and you're just kind of following the road.
Is question, this DM question. The road going between the forests, is that considered cutting through the forest to where it's technically still a forest environment?
I'll give you forest environment.
Okay, so my natural explorer, your group can't become lost except by magical means. Does any of that take effect currently, or?
What was the question?
I have natural explorer with my preferred environment being forest. It has a thing, your group can't become lost except by natural means, such and such. Does that all take effect?
You have no
on this
idea.
road?
No. Like that means like you know, like that basically just means like what direction is north, south, east, and west. You don't really know.
Yeah.
You just know that it's west and it's about a half day's walk.
Well, my question
you
is,
don't really know where this place is exactly.
my question is, does that stuff matter right now? Is this considered a forest, and like when you forage, you find twice as much food normally, that sort of stuff? Does that apply?
It will, but
Okay.
at this current exact moment in time, no.
Okay.
Oh, maybe he's really hungry.
I mean, if you're really hungry and you want to look for food, you can fucking go do it. But sure,
Okay.
you're getting snaggish. So you make it about 30. You make it about 30 minutes outside. You all of a sudden kind of realize you don't really know where you're going. You just know that you're walking along a path down a forest. Not sure. Okay. You guys continue walking. What do you do?
You're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me by the end of this.
That's fine. Go for it.
It says while tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact numbers, sizes, how long ago they passed through the area.
Okay.
It's tracking goblins. Of course, we're going for goblins. Can I see any signs of whether they passed through this area?
Make a perception check.
Okay, D20, I guess so.
Yep, D20 plus your, I think it's your...
Wisdom?
Wisdom?
That's what's next to perception on mine.
I was going to say, unless you have, unless you have proficiency in it, but I don't know if you do or not.
It does. It shows a 5 next to it, so...
Okay, so, yeah, then add 5.
12?
12?
Yeah.
Alright, so, as you're walking along, you look down at the ground, you see a lot of horse track, like, and this is just specifically you. You see a lot of horse tracks, you see a lot of, wagon wheels, you see a lot of human footprints, maybe some half-elf footprints here and there. Very occasionally you see a dwarf footprint, or foot stride along. Are you looking specifically at the road? Are you looking off to the sides?
Kind of in the immediate area, so off,
Okay.
left, right, just looking specifically for goblin footprints.
Within your immediate area, there's not really any sign of goblins at the moment.
All right.
At least not within the road and not within like the immediate surrounding area of the forest.
Okay.
Karma continues by himself. He tries to go. Can I try and go stealth here?
If you want to go off the beaten path and go into the forest, you can.
No, I don't. But I want to continue very cautiously and be scanning everything before I go forward.
You just gonna make if you continue forward, just that's fine. You're just about 60 feet in front of them.
I'm also going slowly. I want to let people catch up with me.
Okay, so you're going slower. So as you walk forward in front of them, and as you are going slower, eventually both of them, both Matron and Vanguard, catch up with you. All three of you make a perception check at this point. Actually, no, don't do that yet.
Okay.
Don't do that yet. I'll let.
Okay. Would it be safe to
eventually,
say that the other party has started walking?
I was gonna say, so
or are we
eventually
just standing there?
Vanguard, Matron, and Karma, you guys eventually will catch up with each other. And eventually, the farther back party eventually catches up with you as well.
Okay, so
now
we're
you're all
out.
together.
Gregory's with us.
Yep, Gregory's with you as
They
well. You
straight
notice
in.
that. I was going to say, you notice that they've brought along this very scared-looking boy, and he catches up with you and is like, he catches up with you and says, "Oh, thank God you guys didn't go much farther. The path that you're looking for is just off that is just about like 34 more feet up that way." And he points off to his right, off to his left.
We're all caught up in one group now?
Yep, you're all caught up in one group. He points up, and you points up off to your left, and just about 30 feet in front of you, off to the left, you can see where a small path, very, very small, almost invisible, that you probably wouldn't notice unless somebody else had honestly pointed it out to you. Just a small path that starts cutting into the forest at that point.
When
Go ahead.
Karma sees Gregory, he looks between Gregory and Clarissa, and he can clearly think a lot of Clarissa at this point, kind of revising his estimate of the little one. And he says, "Well done."
Clarissa just kind of bows at him and is like, a compliment from the shadowy man. I never thought I would hear that. Thank you.
Tieran, go ahead and just say it. It's very hard for me to read chat.
Oh, to Greg. Oh, what I said before?
Yeah.
Wait, what I said in Twitch chat? Because I said 20 gold pieces.
I was gonna say in regular. I was gonna say in regular chat.
No.
In the
regular
game
chat. Okay. Still, 20 gold pieces. Gregory loses his virginity to the gnome.
Game chat.
Before we left, I said to Gregory, "Your assistance is most appreciated, young one. Should you find yourself in combat, stay behind me, and mind the sharp end of your spear ends up only in the goblins."
Okay.
Can Salix speak to Gregory?
Yeah, go for it.
He says, "Do you know about how far down these ruins are? Down the path?"
Well, I followed one of the scouting parties. If we keep walking that way, we should run. If we keep following that path, we should eventually run right into them.
Eventually being how far?
I mean, we've only been walking for about. He looks up at the sun, gauges the time again, and only about an hour, and we still have probably about a little bit more time to go.
At this point, I'd like to take Clarissa aside and say, might you ask more questions of Gregory to know more about the area, their numbers, their size, where their base is exactly, how to enter it, if there's any back entrances, etc. You seem to have a way with them.
Well, it is a half a day's walk.
Yeah, she just kind of shrugs and is like, yeah, why don't I walk with him? It sounds like we have a ways more to go. So I'll just talk to him while we walk.
All right, so you guys start making your way down this kind of this obviously scouting path. It's wide enough. It's about like maybe about 10 feet wide. It's not like as you push through the initial foliage, the path does open up a little bit more. You can tell this is a path that scouts have really often run very quickly back and forth, trying to like really scout this, possibly very much scout this entrance to the goblin area.
I should have.
It's well known.
Sorry, I should have noted back then that as soon as we enter the path, I pull out my crossbow and get prepared.
Can Salix suggest that Matrim and Karma scout on ahead in front of the main group?
You can.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I want to go kind of off the path a little bit, deeper into the forest, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 feet.
I'm going to follow him and try and go stealth.
Okay, so...
Can you leave marks along the trail so we know where you've been? Like, I don't know, scrape a tree with your knife or something?
I'm following right behind you, so I know that I can recognize that you're right.
I'll save you guys some time real quick here. You guys continue walking along. Obviously, you've got Matrim and Karma up in front. All of a sudden, Karma, go ahead and roll a stealth check just for shits and giggles.
D20.
Yep, D20. Add your stealth.
2.
So you attempt. Okay, and add your stealth.
Stealth.
It's not really gonna make any difference.
Dexterity is only +1.
So you attempt
you probably
to
have
walk.
proficiency in stealth.
You attempt
I do.
to walk
The 3.
into. You attempt to kind of walk into the foliage, and you kind of you get in there a little bit, and you're walking, but it's a very loud walk. Like every third step, you're hearing like this very loud as you're breaking twigs and like as you're rustling leaves as you progress. Matron, go ahead and do the same thing.
Okay.
If you're wanting to.
Yeah. So that's is that dexterity?
D10 plus your dexterity.
D10 plus dexterity. Okay. Which one is that? Okay, and you said the 0 on it is...
Oh, Lord.
Right?
Things are happening.
Okay.
Oh, my. The sun has died out. The world is black. We have bigger problems than goblins, people.
Go down to the bottom.
Okay, alright, just a second. On the D10, the 0 on it, does that mean 10?
No, just roll a D20.
Oh, you said D10. Okay, D20.
Roll a D20.
17, and do I add my dexterity to it?
Yeah, add your dexterity.
Which is a +5, so...
Jesus Christ, dude.
My God, and do you
So,
have
22.
proficiency in stealth? 'Cause- Okay.
No.
Jesus. So yeah, you are okay. So you're about, I'm gonna say 60-ish feet in front of the party right now. You're gonna actually do that. You're about 60 feet in the front of the party right now. I'm just for shits and giggles and like that. You're off to the side.
Oh shit.
Off to the side.
Hey, DM, can I comment that in this new zone that our stats and our tokens are now old?
Go ahead and reset them, and then I'll recopy.
Are they minor?
Yeah, mine are.
Oh,
Minor, but I'm at 18, and 13.
Go ahead and redo it, and then I'll recopy it. Okay.
Hey, Shadow?
Yes.
Sorry, can I use right as soon? I'm gonna take that as a turn where I try and go stealth. I want to use my cunning action to try and go stealth again. Right
That-
away.
Is
That's
is
just
that allowed?
combat, I think.
Cunning action's more of a combat thing. I mean, you can do it if you want.
Wait.
Fast.
No, it's up to.
It says once per turn is what it says, but I mean we're not.
I mean, if you
we're
want
not
to
in
do, I mean,
turns.
I was gonna say it's if you hold on 1 sec. I'm trying to find my rogue stuff. There you are. Action. Yeah, that's more during a combat thing. This is kind of like you just attempting to go stealth, like just to walk around stealthily. So.
You can take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat.
Also, heads up for our group. You
but
should
Matron,
not
you
be
are
watching the stream
ridiculously stealthy.
because you can see past the fog on Shadow Stream, so don't look at that.
Oh, okay. I just have chat up, so I can't see anything
Thank
on
you.
the
I'll
screen.
do that. But I mean, regardless, that's okay. All right. Oh, I can't do that. Damn it. All right. So, okay. So, Matron, you're about. I think that's like 30 or 40 feet in front of each other right now. You're ridiculously stealthy. Obviously, like nothing. Like as you progress forward, you guys make it. Like there's really nothing that happens. No ridiculous encounters or anything that happen. You, Matron, occasionally sense it. Like hears like some snapping of twigs off in the distance as you continue to progress. To following the instructions of Gregory. It's pretty easy to follow. The path never really deviates. It goes over some. It never really goes. It goes over like some creeks. It goes over down some valleys, back up some hills, just through very dense, rugged terrain. At this point, eventually, what happens, Matron, is as you're progressing through, you kind of lose visual of the sun after a while. It's starting to dip down a little farther below the tree line, and you sense this before the rest of the party even catches up with you, and you notice as you're progressing forward, there's a slight change in air. Like something seems to kind of just, like there's a little bit more cooler air rushing towards you, from the front of you. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception. Okay. Let me. Okay. There it goes. 13. Make sure there's nothing. Is that intelligence? Okay. Yeah, 18.
18?
Yeah.
All right. So you progress. So as you're continuing to progress forward, you using your ranger abilities and just like kind of what you're used to being in the forest. You look as you look forward, you see a very giant open clearing that is coming up in front of you. Your ears catch kind of this odd, kind of gruff sound. This kind of this coming from the actual clearing itself, and then you also. Oh, fuck you, stream. I love you guys. Sorry. So, anyways, you also kind of get the sense that you're being watched as well.
Okay.
But as you're progressing forward, you start to notice that that the trail eventually opens up this giant clearing. As you are very, very close, as you're nearing the edge of it.
So, is everyone else still pretty well?
Everyone else is still very
visual?
far. Everyone else is still about 30, 40 feet behind
Okay.
you on the actual path. They don't know.
Okay. Can they see me? Like, do they still
Yeah,
have?
they should be
visual
able
on
to.
me?
Yeah, they should be able to still see you.
Okay, so I kind of want to, like, I'm making a motion that they need to, like, kind of slow down, kind of walk quieter, maybe lower to the ground, because obviously I know something crazy's going on up ahead.
All right, so we're still on the path, right? We're not.
You guys are all still on the path right now.
Does Karma realize he's being incredibly unstealthy?
Yeah, he probably realizes that.
Okay, so I would have stepped out of the forest immediately if I realized my stealth didn't go correctly.
Okay, so you notice that there's a giant clearing in front of you. I'll let you guys be able to see that on your screens. Try not to pay too much attention to the stream right now because I'm doing some shit.
I'm just in chat, man.
So all right, so Matron, what are you doing?
I want to get closer to the end of the clearing where I can get a little bit of a visual
Alright.
in there, roll a perception, see if there's any enemies
Okay.
around.
All right, so you progress upward. You progress probably about to there. We're gonna say there's a tree there.
Okay.
You progress up. You progress up to pretty much the exact end of the tree line. Your height. You press your back up against the tree, and it's more kind of a pushing your shoulder up against the tree just to make sure that like nothing else can see you, but you can kind of peek your head out around just enough to just be able to start seeing what is around in the clearing.
Okay.
The first thing you notice is that there is a giant. The first thing you notice is it's a giant clearing. There's a few trees here and there. Way in the back, you notice that there's this giant dwarven head that just appears out of a cliff face.
Awesome.
It just appears completely out of a cliff face. It's very old. It looks like its eyes are completely very polished, very nice. The nose appears to be a little weathered, like almost as though there's been some erosion going over it. The beard itself looks very ancient. The beard kind of like as you're noticing this and looking at it, you see that the beard itself has been very intricately carved into the starts at the face and then intricately is carved all the way out onto the stone face, creating almost this wingspan, like this ginormous wingspan of a beard. And you can see that there's a big opening that where his mouth is. So he's almost kind of standing there just like with like a giant gaping dwarf with this huge beard that's just expanding all across this cliff face. It's quite an impressive portion of stone masonry. So that's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is that there are 4 goblins hanging out over here. They appear to be just chatting in rough goblin, and they're going or whatever goblin sounds like. Since nobody here speaks goblin or underdark, you can't really understand what they're saying.
Okay.
And or I was gonna say, since you don't speak that, you really have no idea what they're saying.
Okay.
Can any of us see this? Is there any?
That's what Matron sees. The rest of you are, by this point, after he's noticed this, have all kind of caught up, and you are probably about 5 feet behind him at this point. He did motion to you. Saying to kind of try and be quieter. So, everyone, go ahead and make a quick stealth check at this point. So roll a d20, add your stealth modifier.
Okay, what I was actually going to ask, but I will do this, is if I saw this, can I move over?
You
to
haven't
the
seen.
Tree?
I was gonna say you
All right,
haven't
so I
seen this yet. It's
Fair
just
enough.
Matron who's
Stealth
seen this.
check. Oh.
Shadow.
Oh, Karma! God, what is up with your rogue tonight? Jesus.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Shadow.
Would you guys believe
Yes.
that I rolled a 20?
Would that include me?
No, not you.
Okay.
You'll be.
You said everyone.
We'll come to you in a moment.
I know. I figure we'll
How
get
is strength or stealth decreased with my armor?
So goblins sound like Jaws. Yes, they do.
You roll disadvantage. Are you wearing plate?
That's scale mail.
Yeah, you're wearing.
just
Yeah, you roll with
a
disadvantage. So roll again and take the lower of the 2 numbers.
Oh,
Oh, that's all?
Yep. So Karma is still trying to be
That
stealthy.
sucks.
You hear
Well,
this just.
That's natural. I still get. I think it's +3 from proficiency.
So
and
it's
then,
still 6.
Yeah,
okay,
6.
that's not horrible. This is a group stealth check, so.
Oh, well, 2 fails. DJ rolled an actual 1.
Oh well.
Here,
Okay.
rolled an actual
So
Oh god.
alright, you're fine.
Clank.
Okay, so yeah, fucking Pike.
Yeah.
This is why
okay.
I don't
That's how people.
So you all kind of walk up. I'm gonna just draw where the natural tree line is at. Just real quick. So the natural tree line is pretty much this area. There's like a natural tree line that goes all across this area before we get to the clearing itself. So that is where the natural clearing is. What shit is happening right now? So Matrim is currently trying to get you to shut up. As you continue to walk forward. So do you guys continue to walk forward, or are you guys just gonna try and stay and hang back a little bit?
I stop back behind him.
All right.
And Salix obeys or acknowledges them and stops moving
All right. So Salix stops.
and crouches.
Crouching.
Wait, did we succeed on the group stealth check?
No.
Okay. Well.
Somebody's
I'll just.
clanky.
I'll give you that. All right. So.
I guess I'm just
Karen,
gonna
what do you
go
got?
with the group. Get up there with the group. Do we
Yeah,
have a
so Karen
token
moves
for
up.
Gregory? Is Gregory here? Where's Gregory at?
I'll give you a token.
I was just curious.
I'll make Gregory this guy.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna
That's great.
go over here and hope
Gregory's kind of just hanging
that
way.
the rest of
like
the party
now
doesn't
that
catch my...
now that he's kind of shown you
Nice
where the
cuties.
clearing is, he's kind of just hanging out. He's just like.
Well, in Matrim, he puts 4 fingers out, say 4 enemies, points to his left. So hopefully they'll look in that direction to see.
All right. You guys all you all look over in that direction. A few of you can make out the enemies, but not all of you.
So, what...
like,
I mean, what's
so
are they, like,
Salix,
underbrush?
Salix, you're still
Like,
still
40
way
feet
far,
away from these guys.
Yeah, Salix, you're still really far back away from the group. So you kind of see you see Matrim do the 4 and then point, and you get his meaning, but you really have no idea where they're at. You really have next to no idea where they're at. Tyrion, you see the same thing, and you can look over and you can see 2 of them. You can probably see about 2 of them.
Okay, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I can see.
You can see
35 feet
2 of
from
them. Gregory's just kind of cowering behind a tree at the moment.
Where is the tree? I need to know where this tree is. Man, I can
The tree line is the green line right there.
Oh, that's the tree line. That's where the forest starts. That's why we can't see them. Got it. That's what I meant by
That's the
obscured.
That's the tree line, yeah. But Therengard, you are one of the stealthiest dwarves that I think I've ever seen, and you somehow managed to make it right up next, like very close behind Matrim at this point, and you, as you like, you can clearly see where all 4 are at, and then Karma, as you're walking up behind Matrim, you let out. You step on a twig that everybody like that just lets out this, and everyone kind of just stares at you, and you're just like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." Like that's what the expression on your face is looking like. But the goblins seem to not really take a notice of it.
Okay, so what I was gonna ask, now that I understand that this is a tree line, can I move up to the tree line and attempt to hide in the trees? Because the trees can hide me. I'm a wood elf.
Are you trying to climb up the tree, or are you just trying?
No, I'm just trying to use Mask of the Wild. Which
that's under wood elf, right?
Okay. I can attempt to hide when I'm only lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, falling snow.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a
natural
stealth check. Then.
phenomena.
That'll be a stealth check. Like, move up to where you want and roll a stealth check.
Okay, I'm gonna want to go like over here. Go away from the group.
Okay.
Stealth check. So let's see. I'm unclear on how that works. Would that be with advantage, or because it just says I can attempt to? It's not.
It'll just be a straight stealth check.
No. Okay. Interesting. Then I don't really understand what the point of that is, because couldn't I just always roll a stealth check and freeze? Either way, stealth check it is. I'll have to look into that. Excellent. That is much better than my previous roll. And for stealth, that would be... Where are you, stealth? 19.
You make it up to the tree line and are currently just hanging out there.
So,
They're currently hanging out there. The goblins have not taken notice of you. They're still just kind of...
Okay, well, I'm just going to chill here, hidden, and observe the goblins.
Can Matchroom make a perception check to see if there's anything else hiding, or is it just these four out there?
I was going to say, you did get the feeling that you were being watched. You can make a perception check if you want to.
Okay, let me see what my thing is. Are we still considered in forest?
Yes, you're still considered in forest.
Okay, good, so I get double proficiency. Yeah.
Double proficiency.
Yeah, because of my favored thing. Yeah, Natural Explorer
Cool.
proficiency bonus is doubled if you're using a skill that you're proficient in.
Cool, go for it.
So, okay. So, 16.
As you gaze about the forest, and as about the clearing, you once again, like, your eyes fall over the goblins. Your eyes fall over the other tree lines that are around this area. Off to your right, you swear for a second you kind of see some form of movement, but it's gone so quickly that you really can't make out what it would have been. Like, your brain kind of just dismisses it almost immediately as a deer or as some form of, like, smaller animal.
Okay.
As that is happening, Ryven,
Eve.
as that
Ryven?
I don't know. As that is happening, from the left side of... I can't do it. From the left side of the left-hand tree line, out darts this shadow, this almost shadow. It's moving ridiculously fast. It's a lot faster than you'd expect it to. And the fact that the goblins seem ridiculously unaware that this thing is moving towards them kind of frightens you about this thing. This shadow literally jumps and appears almost all of a sudden right in the middle of the four goblins, and these goblins all of a sudden reel back completely unexpectedly and are just like, where the fuck did this guy come from? At that point, I would like for all of you to please roll initiative.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Is that including me?
This is including you.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Initiative.
So initiative is just a straight D20 plus nothing, right?
Straight D20.
D20 plus your initiative.
Dex
I think
modifier.
it's plus your dex modifier.
Okay.
Alright, so mine's...
Mine's a natural 20.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, there we go.
21 for Tyrion.
All right,
So
so
that's,
I'm gonna do it this way.
24 for Ryven.
I'm gonna do it this way when we do it. I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 25 through 20. And then let me know who it was who got that.
That's Ryven, 24.
So Ryven.
Tyrion, 21.
Clarissa, 19.
All right, 19 through 15.
Oh, shit, sorry, that's my bad. I got a 23.
Fucking up my whole schedule there.
I know, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
What was that?
I got 23.
Good. And Clarissa, what'd you get?
19.
Tiana, what'd you get? You got 19 as well.
No, 21.
Fantastic. All right, 21 there. All right, 14 through 10.
Karma got 11. Or 12, sorry, 12.
All right, and 9 on down.
Juxor or Salix 2.
Oh, Salix.
Vanguard got 8.
Vanguard, you got an 8. Salix, what'd you get?
2. Or the critical fail on my initiative.
It's okay. I rolled a critical fail.
All right.
Myself,
Felix,
so I fucked everyone.
That's right. You're fine. Okay, cool. All right. Let us begin. Ryvan, you are currently standing in the middle of these goblins.
Yeah.
They are looking insanely confused, very disturbed almost that you all of a sudden randomly popped in the midst of them. What do you do?
I am going to take my short sword and attack this guy on my... I don't know how to mark him, but what would be my right?
If you click the pointer
That one right there.
Okay.
and hold, yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that one.
Yeah, that
All
guy.
right. So, all right. So you take your short. All right. So you take your short sword. You pull it. You pull back. You aim. You aim really hard for it. You take a swipe at him. Go ahead and roll for attack.
So that's a
Roll
D20 plus...
For you, it'll be Dex,
I'm
because
gonna
you
use
use
Dex modifier,
Dex
yeah.
instead of Strength, right?
Right, yeah, because I can use Dex for everything, for a monk weapon.
So yeah, whichever's higher.
Yep. Go ahead and roll.
That's a 4 plus 8, so 8!
Oh.
Oh wait, do I get a proficiency bonus, or no? Is that for damage?
Yeah, you do. You're proficient
that
in
would-
monk weapons.
That would be where the proficiency
That's a 10.
comes in. That's a 10. Unfortunately, as you go ahead and swipe at the goblin sees that, like, is able to come to its senses very quickly, even after seeing this monk all of a sudden just drop in the middle, and it jumps backward, just avoiding your attack. Unfortunately, yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action right away and
go for it.
go for an unarmed attack with him.
All right, so you were taking your other hand, and all right, so you after you take your sword, you swing, you miss, you take your hand, form it into the fist, and aim for a punch. Go ahead and roll your attack.
So that's the same thing, right?
Yep, roll d20.
Plus my Dex, plus a proficiency.
Yes, because it's an unarmed attack.
17.
Yep, that will hit.
So it's
All
a
right.
D4 bludgeoning. I don't think there's anything added on to the D4, right?
No, I don't think so.
Alright, I've never... This is my first damage roll.
You're fine, go for it.
It's a 3.
Let's hope it goes better than your first attack roll.
What was that?
That's a 3 to damage.
All right, so you take your fist, you literally just clock it in the face, and it just it goes whack, and its head snaps to one side, and it's just you deal some decent damage to it. Good solid.
That's it.
Nice. Okay. Matrium, you're up.
Okay, I want to use Hunter's Mark and mark this guy right here.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a tag for that.
Is there?
There is a tag for that.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna call. Let's call.
Get a bullseye?
Let's call that Hunter's Mark.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Okay. So whenever I do that, do I still get an attack, or does that take my entire turn?
Nope, you still get an attack.
That's
Okay.
a bonus action, right?
It's a bonus action.
Awesome. Okay, then I will use my longbow, and then I also get an additional 1d6 damage for marking them.
All right, so you take an arrow out of your quiver, you pull back, you take aim, and you fire and release at it. You release at him. Go ahead and roll for attack.
Okay, so it is a 1d8.
No, roll with the d20.
Oh, d20. I'm sorry.
You gotta see if you hit first.
Okay. 18.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay.
So you take your arrow, you pull back, fire. The arrow goes forward, slamming right into the upper shoulder. The goblin turns around and goes, and like now seeing where this arrow came from, glares at you and lets out this little gigantic roar right in your direction. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay, so I get a 1d8 and a 1d6. So let's do the 1d8 first is 8 plus 3, and then the 1d6 is 1.
What was it?
The 1d6 is 1, and then the 1d8 is 8 plus 3, so 8, 9, 10, 11.
What'd you get the +3 from?
The plus 3 is piercing.
So as
Nice, right, longbow.
Actually done.
Okay.
All right. Oh. All right, so the goblin turns around and is now facing in the direction of where you are. It now has a clear bead on where you are at. Tyrion, you're up.
Okay, Alright, so I am stealthed.
Yep. Currently, it has no idea where you're at.
Right, okay, so they've got no idea where I'm at. What's between me and them, like?
It's a giant clearing.
Oh,
so
it's a giant
nothing.
clearing, so I'm not going to be able to, like, sneak up on them.
There's a giant outcropping of rock over here. If you want to try and use that, but that's going to take a decent amount of movement to get over there.
Yeah, no, that's not what I was thinking of. Alright, fair enough. So yeah, so it's just a thin tree line, we're in the trees, and that's a clearing. Okay.
Salix, I saw your whisper, yes.
So there's no way for me to move from, like, here to, like, this general area without being seen.
No, you'll be seen pretty much immediately as soon as you get out of the tree line.
Okay. Sorry about that. That was information I wish I'd had. Nope, can't move there. I can move there, though. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I've got 2 javelins. I'm gonna throw a javelin at the guy that Mashram attacked.
Alright, you take aim, you hold your javelin,
Roll to hit.
you get ready to release. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, javelin. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, 24. I know that hits.
Yep, so you pull back, you release, you chuck the javelin directly at the goblin. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Alright. 1d6. That's a 6. That's 9.
Excellent.
That's great.
The javelin you see literally as you release it goes arcing straight at the goblin.
Oh, you know what?
Goblin,
No, I'm so sorry. I was doing my dagger roll there. It's 1d4. Let me
It doesn't matter on this guy.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
You chuck your javelin as it goes arcing. The goblin looks up and goes, and it literally slams right into his chest, pinning him to the ground. He is now dead. Yay! One down. Right, Clarissa, you are up.
Alright, so Clarissa is going to kind of shout back to Gregory first and just tell him, stay back, lad, but make sure you watch this.
Fuck it, attack.
And then she takes
Get up there, boy.
She takes like a couple steps forward to get a better view into the woods, hopefully.
Okay.
And then is
You
gonna
can currently see this goblin, and probably this one as well.
Alright. She's gonna throw her arms back and cast Firebolt at this guy.
Alright.
And I'm going to exhaust my Twist Fate to roll this with advantage, so I don't actually accidentally kill the nice man who jumped into the forest and attacked them.
That's fair.
Alright, so, and it is a good thing I did. So
Which one are you attacking?
we have a 20 and a 5. So the 20 takes it.
Natural 20?
So what you're doing firebolt?
That would be sick.
Yeah, Firebolt, so the damage on that is...
So you take your hands, you curl them into like conjuring this nice ball of fire right in the middle of your hands. You then take aim and you chuck it as far as you can. The fireball goes arcing right onto the one goblin. The goblin is looking very confused on where all of these attacks are all of a sudden coming from, and it just cries. It not really cries, but it's just like... Argh! Go ahead and roll for damage.
I rolled in. With the modifiers, it's an 11.
So basically, as that fireball slams into the goblin goes, and it is just incinerated.
So it's dead. Yay.
Completely dead. There's nothing left apart from a nice pile of ash laying on the ground. It's quite beautiful. Want to do anything else?
That's it.
All right. So over to Karma.
Karma. Okay, so question. They didn't know where we are, so technically, are we all stealth right now?
Yeah, technically you are, because they have really shitty perception.
Okay. Am I still in the tree line if I move to right here? Right here.
Move to where?
I'll mark it. Right here.
Yeah, you'll be still in the tree line, just barely though.
Okay, let me check this real quick. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna move up to right here first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack with my short bow.
Okay, so you had your
fellow.
you had your hand crossbow out, so it's going to take your action to actually pull out your short bow.
Then I'll use my crossbow.
Okay.
Okay. So crossbow is +3 to hit.
Okay.
So,
So you take aim with your hand crossbow. Go ahead and roll for attack.
18 + 3, 21.
Yeah, that'll hit. You take aim. You fire. The bolt goes whizzing towards the goblin. Go ahead and roll for damage.
1d6. Then I get +1 on this. 2 + 1, 3 total.
So,
Plus, do I get anything from stealth on this?
technically you get sneak attack.
Okay. So is that 1 additional d6? Correct.
It's
It's
just
2D.
double damage dice, whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I had 6 total then.
Yeah. All right, so nice. All right, so the bolt goes arcing, like pretty much just buzzing straight into the goblin's back. It lets out this tremendous roar as you pretty much just like nail it, and it's not happy at this point. All right, it is.
I'm still have my cunning action to do.
Okay.
And for cunning action, I'm going to, let's see. Let me go up to that again. I'm going to just disengage.
Disengage is more along the lines of you are very close to it.
I still want to use it.
All right, you can use it. Not gonna do anything, but you can use it.
Okay.
All right, you can use it if you want. Okay, cool. All right, it is now the goblin's turn. This goblin is goblin's very annoyed that Ryvan punched him and is going to take his club and see what he can do. Nope. The goblin's club literally just slams right in front of Ryvan's feet, and Ryvan kind of just looks down at it, looks back up at the goblin, and just gives a nice little sneer to him. This other goblin is going to start charging one. He's going to get to about here. He is going to also take his club. And it's going to his club's going to arc, swing right down, and once again also kind of absolutely miss where Karma is standing at. That brings us over to Salix.
Here's a question. Hold on.
Yes.
Do I get, as a reaction, an attack of opportunity on him?
No.
No? Okay. Just wondering.
Because you gotta remember, all of this is pretty much happening within about 6 seconds of itself. Okay.
Wait. Oh, okay. Was he in front of him when he...
Yeah, because he's within 5 feet of me.
If he was in front of him when he walked away, it would be an opportunity attack.
Yeah, Ryvan. That's his Ryvan.
Sorry, yeah. Ryvan, yeah, you would have gotten an attack of opportunity. Go for it.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
It's a 18 plus.
Yeah, it'll hit.
Yeah, it'll hit, and then I guess it's with my sword, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 1d6. It's a 5. I don't think I add anything to that, do I?
Well, okay, it's a short sword. I'm looking this up for you right now.
It won't matter. It won't matter.
It won't matter.
No, okay, so retract that attacking on Karma. It pretty much will. As he's running away, the goblin will like Ryvan. You notice that this goblin's about to start running away. You take your short sword and you just slam it all right across the back of this goblin. This goblin kind of lets out and falls to the ground, completely dead. All right. Now we're on to Salix's turn. Sorry about that.
Isn't Thangard above me in the initiative?
Sorry, Thangard. I lied. Thangard. I can't read. My bad. Sorry. I apologize, guys. Sorry. Bad. Love you all.
Can I run to right here? All right.
What was that?
Can I run to right here?
Yeah, go for it. As long as your speed movement is.
Yeah, I can move 25. That's 25.
Yep, you can get there.
All right, then I can
I'm
still.
gonna move the goblin just for shits giggles. You can see what's going on.
I can still swing at this guy with my battle axe, right?
Yep. That'll be your attack.
Yep. So.
Go ahead and roll for attack.
Wow.
No. So you take your battle axe. You get ready to come down and just cleave right across the goblin's body. The goblin bounces back out of the way, just letting your attack completely missing.
Do I get to add any modifier?
You would probably. I mean, you would add your proficiency, but it's not going to do it. It's not going to do enough, unfortunately. Okay. Say let's hear.
Okay. Salix is gonna move up to the tree line here.
Okay.
He finally sees what the fuck's going on, what all the commotion's about.
Yep.
And he says, I only see three alive. And he yells
see
really
one
loudly, I'm sorry, one alive, three dead. And he yells really loudly, capture it, we need to, or he says, try to keep it alive, capture it.
Okay.
And
Make sure that did Maxrum hear that?
I may have heard it, but
Okay.
that's
Okay. just
Matson,
ask.
go ahead and roll.
See.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
perception. Right.
Actually, everybody, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Oh, okay. I was being snarky.
What modifier goes with perception?
Perception would be intelligence,
Wisdom?
I believe.
Wisdom.
No, it's wisdom. You're right.
Yeah, perception's wisdom.
Tieran 18.
Okay, so
Maximum
Tyrion, you
13.
notice it. Karma, you're right next to him, so you notice it. Matrim, you would just barely know. You're also pretty close to next, so you notice it. Ryven, you're a little far away. Unfortunately, you probably wouldn't know this.
I don't think I would even know what to do with that stranger
probably.
yelling at me.
Probably not. Thangart, you would. You'd probably not hear it either, unfortunately. So at the top of the round, we are at Ryven.
I would like to move
wait,
around him to his
I don't
back.
get my action?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That was just speaking.
Salix.
Oh,
My bad. Salix is doing
Yeah,
it.
he
My
was
bad.
just-
Shut up.
no action for
I
you.
was
Shadow's really bad.
being
I still get an
snarky.
action?
Yeah,
Yes?
it's being bad tonight. Yes. Alright, so what are you doing, Salix?
Pulling up the reference page. Apparently I tagged the wrong page. I want to cast a command,
Okay.
Nice.
but apparently I referenced the wrong page number.
Control F.
Look at the control
Uh,
doesn't find the font of the spell name.
223 is command.
Thank you. I wrote it down as 233.
223. Okay, so 223.
60 feet verbal.
Okay. Yep. So that's so this is my first spell like this. So this is D20 plus my.
Plus your spell. It'll be plus your
I.
spell,
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Gotcha.
I think clerics are wisdom, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus my
Plus
spell
your-
attack. So it's D20 plus spell attack bonus.
Yep.
18.
And what's the save DC?
13.
Yeah, because you got to roll a wisdom for the goblin.
So the goblin feel you shout your word at the goblin. And what are you shouting at it?
Of my options.
You can pretty much you can yell what you want. Like,
Okay.
It's as long as it kind of falls under one of those.
Okay, yell at him to, or command him to lie on the ground with his hands behind his head.
I don't know. Can you?
I'm yelling at him to lie on the ground with his hands behind his head.
Well, you got to do it in one word, man.
One word.
No. It's, you can yell you can literally just yell. It's just like the way that he's saying it is making it sound like. And I yell at him to do it. Like it's like I don't know. Are you asking me in character? Are you asking me not? Like try and do it in character.
Surrender and get down.
There we
No,
go.
it's
This is not command word. It's just it says. Oh yeah. Yep. I just speak a one-word command. Okay. Drop.
Alright, the goblin stares at you, looks at you and looks at this odd human yelling at him to get on the ground, and he just kind of cackles. Like, you kind of just hear this. That's about all you hear. Come out of his voice.
It's got light language.
All right. Ryven, back top of the round.
Okay. So like I said, I want to move away from this.
If you move, I was about to say, if you move, he'll get an attack of opportunity on you.
Even if I just like cone around him.
Yep, he'll still get an attack of opportunity around you.
Ew.
Or on you.
Alright, I'm still gonna do it because there's this big ass dude in front of me, and I do not like that because I do not know who that is.
Fair point.
So I want to move like there. Oh, I can do that. Okay, I don't know how I did that.
Okay, so you're basically just going like you're basically going here.
Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah.
All right. So as you do that, the goblin will take it. Fuck. I don't like shit tonight. So as you do that, as you move around,
I like that.
The goblin raises his club, gets ready to slam it on the ground, and you literally just basically become do what Naruto does, and as he slams down onto what he thinks is your body, all of a sudden there just appears to be this wooden block sitting in front of him, and he is looking very confused at it. He's like,
That sounds like a crit fail.
it was a 1.
Yeah, that was like, that sounds like a crit fail, because he got Naruto powers.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Don't expect that every time, but yeah, that's pretty much what
You feel free to keep rolling crit fails in combat, my good
All right.
demon.
I'm okay with that.
So, Ryven, go ahead. You have to
I'm gonna take my short sword and cut right at the back of his neck.
go ahead and roll for it. All right, so as you pretty much reappear right behind him, you go ahead and roll for attack.
That's a 2 plus
God.
8.
You take you take your short sword, you swing at the back of your neck, and you all of a sudden realize that your short sword's not as long as it could have been, and you kind of just swing through the air as the goblin is hunched over, and it kind of just grazes right over his head. He feels it over his hair. So unfortunately, you miss.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take that bonus action of mine again, and try to punch him right in the back of the head, and karate chop him.
Go for it.
7 plus dex again. 13.
Yep, that'll hit. So as you take your hand and bring it right down onto his collarbone, go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay, so before I roll for damage, me and DJ were texting here for a second. It's a 1d4 for unarmed strikes.
Right.
But what we're thinking is, do I get my dexterity modifier to damage for that?
Not for damage.
Sure,
no.
not for damage, just for hit. Okay.
It would just be for hit. Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to figure this out. It's going to be a 3 again.
I was gonna say you add those modifiers
Beforehand. Right. So that's a 3 to damage.
Okay, cool.
Because my fists don't hit much. Yet.
So as you bring it down, as you bring your hand down, as you bring your wrist and your hand down onto his collarbone, he gets this kind of stiffness, and then this kind of crumples a little bit, falling down to one knee, and is just like at that point. We are down to Matron.
Yeah, it is. All right. So my mark will transfer over to this guy now, using bonus action.
Did Metrum not hear Salix?
Well, that's not right.
My move-
He's
my
got
movement is,
but did you hear him?
Oh, I heard him.
Okay, gotcha. Continue.
And I want to use my longbow and shoot this buddy right here.
Okay, so you move up there. Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and roll. You reach into your quiver, grab your arrow, you pull back. Go ahead and roll for attack.
16.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. So then 8 and a 6 because of Hunter's Mark. So the 8 is piercing also. So 8 plus piercing, so 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the 6 is 3. So 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, go. All right.
Wait,
how do you
no,
want to
more
do
than
this?
that. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Just stare him down, shoot him right in the head. Because I don't care anything.
Fair point. All right. So as you pull back and release, you can see exactly where you want your mark, where you want your arrow to go. Pull back, you release. The arrow just goes buzzing. It buzzing right towards the goblin. The goblin looks up, sees the arrow coming out of his face. His eyes grow wide for 1 second. The arrow pierces right through its forehead, and its eyes just go slack. Its body drops to the ground, falling face forward right onto the arrow, pushing the arrow right out the back of its head.
Like through the head?
Yep, through the head.
Like, does it still have space? Am I about
Like,
to be hit by an
no,
arrow
the
that
arrow
went through
like
a head?
the arrow like embedded itself into the head. The head it embedded itself into the skull.
Damn
It's
it.
still sticking there. It falls down forward. The arrow then the arrow, as it impacts the ground pushes the arrow through the back of its head, and it's just sitting there, sticking out the back of its head.
I want to go Matrix style, dodge the arrow.
All right, we are now out of combat.
Tyrion's not happy.
I don't think he is.
I'm not the one that told him not to kill him, but no, I'm not happy.
Quick question for the GM. What has Gregory been doing this entire time?
Probably pissing
Gregory's
himself.
been cowering
Yes.
behind a tree.
Furiously masturbating to Clarissa touching me. I don't know. It's just some thoughts.
Alright, so Carissa's gonna go over to him and make sure like he's okay.
Okay, as you approach Gregory, you kind of see that he's just kind of sitting there, squatting, trying to, like, with his, like, staring at the battle that just happened in front of him. His mouth is kind of like gaping wide open, and his arms are just laying down, are just kind of laying on the side, like laying down on the side of, like, at the sides of him, just like, what the fuck did I just witness?
So Clarissa is like, good job, lad. You didn't run away. That was very brave of you.
He's speechless at this point. He can't quite comprehend. He's still just I think he's still trying to understand what just happened.
Okay. Tyrion's gonna ignore the idiocy of our ranger, quote-unquote, friend for the moment.
Yeah.
For the moment. I'm just gonna file that away. I'm gonna walk over to the elf friend, and actually, I don't even have my sword out, so I'm just gonna to the monk guy, elf friend.
Now that you're out of combat and that you're actually getting a chance to see him, you see an individual who is clad in mostly black, mostly black. Not really. It's kind of more like almost a robe fabric type of material. There's a few leather pieces of armor here and there, just kind of enough to really maybe allow for him to have some form of protection against whatever is coming against him. His head is visible. You can see that he does have pointy ears, but they're not as predominant as normal.
I was just accidentally referring to myself, but okay. So he is some kind of elf.
I'm still describing him, regardless. So
Honestly.
as you see that this individual has some pointy ears. They're not as predominant as an elf. He's of average height, average build. He's kind of just standing there looking over the bodies of the fallen goblin that have just that were just attacked.
So I'm just gonna walk up and keep my distance, like over here, and just address him calmly and say, "You fought well.
So did you.
State your name. Be you friend or foe?"
Neither. Yet. I don't know you yet. I'm gonna keep my sword out. Got my eye on this big one over here, who came right up on me. They call
I'm
me
ignoring
Red.
him and I'm searching the goblins for anything of interest.
Farengard, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
If I could type. Do I add anything to that?
Your investigation modifier.
It's in your abilities. Page 1.
Intellect.
Okay. Let's do 16.
You find 2 goblin clubs. You find about if you're searching all 4 goblins, you find approximately about 25 gold on all 4 of them. Apart from that, they don't really have much else on them.
I want to move to this goblin right here and try to get my arrow back. 'Cause I
Oh
want
god,
that arrow.
it's getting right up on me.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for that. Just roll a d20.
D20. 3.
As you try to pull the arrow out of it, as you kind of like try to pull the arrow out, you yank as hard as you can, and all of a sudden, like the arrow just snaps, leaving half of it in the skull and of the goblin, the other half currently in your hand, caked in blood and gore, and maybe a little brain matter.
Just curse underneath my breath. Look over at the stranger that we just came up on, and say, "You cost me an arrow," and walk back towards where I was.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep focused on Tyrion there in front of me, the only one who talked to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask him where he's from. What are they doing here in these parts?
Okay, go ahead and ask him.
Where are you from, elf? Why are you here?
I hail from the wilds of the north, and we are here investigating the cause of goblin attacks on a nearby town. We came across you and this group of enemies here while investigating.
I see if he's lying.
Roll a perception check.
I'm
Actually, an insight check. Sorry, insight.
not
And
very
then-
trusting of people that I haven't met yet.
And,
Especially very armed people.
I'm
and,
unarmed, man. I got my hands up.
Not all you.
That's true.
And
I mean, the
Tyrion,
giant fireball
roll a
just
persuasion.
exploded a thing next to
Roll
me at one point.
Roll a d20 and add your persuasion.
Ooh, persuasion.
So I roll a d20 for...
You roll a d20 and add your insight to it.
19.
And then Tyrion, you
10.
roll your d. So Ryven, to the best that you can tell, he's telling the truth. He doesn't seem to be trying to hide anything. He just seems to be trying to explain the situation of what's happening at the moment.
I'm gonna sheath my sword then.
Okay.
If I believe him. And put
Alright.
that down. Still not totally trusting him. I mean, I understand. I'm gonna... Huh. I'm gonna keep watching him for a second. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet.
Okay.
All right. So Clarissa,
There's a lot of
as
you. I'm a little
Clarissa,
overwhelmed.
as that exchange is going on, Gregory seems to kind of eventually regain his composure. So, and it kind of is looking at you with a new sense of awe and kind of heroic wonderment is probably about the best that you can kind of understand of what it is currently playing across his face. He stands up. He turns to them and says, "Wow," or turns to you, Clarissa, and says, "Wow, if you can defeat those, you can surely defeat the rest of them." And he walks forward past you and out into the clearing.
Clarissa kind of like scratches her head and is like, wait a minute, the rest of them, like exactly how many more are the rest of them? Like running after him.
He doesn't really seem to hear you. He seems to be in a sense of shock at this moment in time.
She just kind of, her stubby little legs can't keep up with him, and she just kind of shrugs and then turns back and heads towards the rest of the group.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna walk.
Vanguard, you are, I believe, at the top of the list tonight. So
I'm wandering toward what's-his-face to figure out where he's headed.
towards Gregory.
Yeah.
He's kind of walked to the middle of the clearing and kind of just hanging out there for a moment. He's staring up at the giant dwarven carving that is in front of him and against the stone.
Can I do a
stone
history
wall.
check on this carving?
Yeah, go for it.
Stone cunning, so it says whenever I make a history check on it, I'm considered proficient.
Go for it.
And do I add anything?
You'd add your history, or you'd add your What are you doing? A history check on this?
Yeah, history check.
Yeah, add your history modifier.
2 plus intellect.
Yep.
So he said he was proficient, right?
Plus 3, 9.
Yeah, so 9. You walk up to it. You looking at it, you can tell that this is that this area and that this dwarven ruin has been abandoned for quite a long time. There's not a lot of area, like it's been abandoned by dwarves for a long time. It hasn't really been, like, obviously it's not abandoned, but it has been abandoned by dwarves for quite a long time. Your guess is that the dwarves that lived here were either run out or just decided to leave for some unknown reason. Apart from that, you really don't have much other information to offer or to know about this particular dwarf clan.
So I'm filled with rage by the thought of this, that they drove away some dwarves, some dirty goblins drove away some dwarves, and I yell at everybody that we need to take these guys out as quickly as we can.
All right, so from this very small, from this dwarf, you hear him just yell, "We need to take these fuckers out as fast as we can!" And that's just echoing around the clearing at this point in time.
Well, we've already established that we're not very good at stealth, right?
Yes.
I mean, your rogue might have. I'm not sure about the rest of you.
Tyrion rolled a natural 1 on our first group stealth check, so. But then I did well on my second, so I'm gonna go with average. Okay.
Alright.
I'm still focused on the monk, and I say, okay.
Oh.
Riven. A strange name, but then again, these are strange parts. Feel free to search the bodies, take your share of the spoils. You did very well in this battle. We shall continue forth. We do have goblins to hunt. If this is of any interest to you, perhaps we can discuss further partnership in battle.
Partners are good. Friends are rare. If you're needing an extra sword, I'll come along with you for a time.
Well met.
On that, while I'm saying that, I'd like to crouch down and check out what's left in this body in front of me.
Alright, as you crouch down, go ahead and roll a perception check. Or it's actually an investigation, sorry.
Well, that's a natural 1.
It's a goblin, and it has a loincloth on it. That's about all you get.
Alright. Mm.
Does the
You pat it down, you maybe try to, like, you try to reach up in some...
Down?
What was that, Vanguard?
Does the loincloth happen to open up while he's bending down?
Gust of wind.
I don't know. It's currently laying kind of on it. Riven tries to, start searching some of the orifices for some of the, like, it gets a little awkward pretty quickly. Like, you're not really sure why this guy's kind of touching a goblin's ass.
Well, Clarissa was going to go say hi to him, but after seeing that's why towards Gregory.
I know
Okay, so
my
that's
favorite
like-
for the longest time. I was trying to say shit that entire time. And I was like,
What
why are people talking over me?
Are you muted?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I was muted for a long time. Anyway, I was saying
Good.
Tampa's going to come over here. Like, halfway, he's going to look at this dude. Is it Therengard? Yeah, Therengard. And he's going to say, they will meet their end very soon. And then he comes over here and he says, well met, stranger. May I ask where you've come from?
You would have heard... I mean, you would have heard all of these... Oh, okay. You would have heard his name.
Yeah, like, I got his name, but we still don't know how he got here and why he appeared in the midst of 4 goblins.
Alright.
I, come from a small monastery of monks on a little island to the south. We pretty much kept to ourselves. There was an incident, an accident, and I've been banished from them. And now I'm out. This is the first time. I have not been out much. Just trying to find my own way now.
Well, regardless of your background, stranger, you fought bravely, and I commend you. And I start moving back towards Therengard, towards the entrance.
I'm gonna move up towards Tyrion.
Okay, so I'll just, like, rather than explaining that, okay, we all now move over here. So rather than you guys each individually, I'm just gonna say, as you are starting to, as these exchanges are happening, you're all kind of starting to congregate around, and now you are now all in front of this giant dwarven carved dwarven face, or at least from what you can tell is a dwarven face. Once again, with all that intricate beard work, like you can barely tell. It's very hard to follow where one portion of the beard begins and where the next portion ends, and it kind of just all interweaves. It's very, very interesting. It's a very interesting and very intricate piece of stonework. Go ahead and.
Could I, before we roll this, just ask Gregory if this is the entrance that we're looking for? Because
Gregory kind of looks over you and just gives a slight nod. And says, yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Just because I wasn't sure how
none of our scouts have ever come back out of there.
Okay. Thank you.
As you guys approach and start getting a closer look at this, you can see that there's an ill-disguised trail that kind of leads through the woods, and there's a bunch of crumbling piles of stone that are just really all around this clearing. You kind of get the feeling that this stone cliff and this face cliff has been kind of deteriorating for quite some time now. The trail that you notice seems to be leading away, or it seems to be kind of leading up towards and into the dwarven mouth, very much giving you kind of this very wide entrance to walk into. It's a very, very grassy area. Looks like there's some remnants of a fire pit over here and a fire pit over there. Obviously, some places where sentries would keep guard. What you would take it would seem as though there's some goblin sentries that would normally set up camp in this area.
Well,
So you're currently standing in front of a dwarven mouth.
So just to clarify, we don't see any of them currently?
You can make a perception check if you want.
Yeah, okay.
But there's
Step away for a sec. What are we not seeing? Hello?
What was that?
I'm sorry, I had to step away.
We're checking to see if we can.
You basically are just like, I just basically described the clearing. You're standing in this clearing with a bunch of rocks that kind of just drop. That like you get the feeling that this dwarven area, this dwarven
I rolled a
entrance
17.
to their realm has kind of just been deteriorating over a long time.
Okay.
Karma got a 16.
To the best of your guys' knowledge, you don't see or hear or notice any strange activity outside or around in the surrounding areas. You dealt with those goblins pretty quickly, so it's highly unlikely that there was any chance to raise the alarm or the scuffle was even heard.
What are all of you guys waiting for as I walk toward the mouth?
Okay.
Carissa is like, hold on a second. Let's try this, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation. There we go.
God.
To light up a small light right inside the mouth, just to see if there's anything like right there.
Okay. You basically walk up to the front of the or to like pretty much to the very entrance of the mouth, and it's about a 25 foot tall mouth. Like it's a very giant mouth that that you walk up. As you look in, it's very dark inside. You kind of just snap your fingers, and all of a sudden there's just this light that just appears kind of floating about 10 feet in front of you, and it's a very long hallway that goes forward. Just completely made out of stone at this moment in time, and just seems to continue farther down, farther into the stone face.
Carissa kind of nods satisfied and is like, okay, looks clear. The dwarf should go first. It is, after all, his statue.
Hold before we proceed any further. Matrim, how are we to know that in the future we can trust your judgment and or your ability to work with us in battle? Because I have my doubts. If you wish to continue on your own, that is fine. But if you wish to enjoy the strength of our numbers, we must work together.
You can believe whatever you want, but I never promised you guys anything. I'm just here to kill some goblins and to help that town back there.
Karma says, that being said, there is a strong merit towards investigation and learning the numbers of our enemies before we charge in, regardlessly of our own safety.
I'm gonna
Very
come
well.
up here and go.
I just need to know.
Oh, and I was going to say, I agree with him. Being able to watch and learn of your enemy's movements is always important in battle. And I'm going to slink back again. I don't like being in front of people. Especially which one's got the light going?
It's currently the gnome. It's the one way in
This
back.
one?
Technically, Carissa's like way up here.
This
Te-
okay.
Technically.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of light. I'm gonna avoid the light. It's bright.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing?
So let's charge in.
I'm in the mouth of that thing already.
So
Oh, you
okay, so
charge in.
Thangard's walked in. So Thangard has walked into the has walked into the has walked into it. Who else is
I'm
following or is?
Yeah, I'm following him. I put my longbow up and I pull a torch out of my backpack.
All right. So Matrim, Thangard, and both of you, please make dexterity saving throws real quick.
Dexterity saving throws. How do you do that?
That's a
Roll,
trap.
roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier to it.
Okay. 15.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Done. 8. Okay. Matrim, as Thangard's in front of you, and Thangard walks into this mouth. Matrim, as you are walking forward, you get about 5 feet in before all of a sudden you feel the ground start to shift underneath your foot. The ground suddenly falls out from beneath you. Matrim, you manage to reel backward just enough, but you kind of fall back on your ass. Thangard drops straight down into this hole. Here. And so Thangard is currently now laying knocked prone in this giant hole. Oops, find it. Prone. And you're going to the upper left-hand corner of it.
As soon as Karma sees him falling like that, he dives in after him.
All right, so Karma drops in as well.
Can I go ahead and stand up?
Yep, go ahead.
I stand up.
Matrim, you are currently. We're gonna mark this as the top area. You're currently standing above them, above them, looking down into said thing.
Okay.
Right.
How far down did they fall? I'm sorry, I missed that.
They fought about. They fought about. So major, or so not major. I'll get these names eventually. Thangard. So you fell, and kind of since you weren't expecting it, you all of a sudden landed on. You kind of land really hard against the ground, and you take 3 points of I guess bludgeoning damage. As technical it would be.
Nice.
All right.
Karma, since you saw that happening, you kind of jumped in. Go ahead and make an acrobatics test.
Okay. Let's see. What's my modifier on that one again?
Dex.
It is Dex, I believe.
Dex.
And whether or not you have proficiency.
Yeah, it'd be at dexterity.
Okay. Rolling.
And make it. No, you're fine.
Okay.
What'd you get?
5.
So plus anything?
Nope.
Okay. So you pretty much almost you jump in and you land. Your legs don't buckle as they should in order to go into the rolling. So your legs kind of hit, they buckle, and you slam backwards. You don't you definitely take some. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from that, but apart from that, you're okay, but you're relatively knocked. The rest of you are standing at the top, either inside, or are you all now inside the mouth looking down into this pit, or where are you guys at?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
run up and
down.
Um, real quick, sorry. Do I have time for my cunning action here?
It's
We're not in
What
combat.
would you use it for?
I would use it for disengage.
It would not do anything because you're not engaged with anything.
How far is the engagement? Just for my
Disengage.
Engagement is like 5 feet in front of you.
5 feet. Okay.
Yeah, it's like if somebody is like right on top of you, if you disengage, you can like get away from them without them taking an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, everyone once again, please roll for initiative.
okay.
Because as you, Karma and Thangard, as you guys.
Squeeze, crushing these initiative rolls.
All right, let's go 25 to 20.
Tieran 21.
21. 19 to 15.
Salix 19.
Driving
Vanguard
17.
15.
Drive-in 17. And what was that?
Vanguard 15.
Vanguard 15, cool.
Vanguard, are you adding your initiative bonus?
I don't know what that is.
It's your
Dex
dex.
modifier.
+3. 18.
Okay. Okay. Then what do we else we get?
Matchroom 13.
So Matchroom got 13.
Karma 12.
Karma 12.
Clarissa 10.
Clarissa 10. Is that everybody?
I think.
Anyone not? Okay, cool. Fantastic. All right. So Thangard and Karma, as you guys land in this pit, it takes a second for your guys' eyes to adjust because the light, even though it's above you and then shining down, it's kind of really only shining down onto you two. You hear all of a sudden this kind of grind and this kind of lifting of doors, and as you look around, you see 4 doors. Well, technically 3 doors. You see 3 doors open, one in front of you, one off to your left, and one off to your right. And you hear this deep, like you kind of like this, like almost gurgly growl coming from these. Out of these doors appears.
I ready my shield and axe.
Appears some form of animal that is that appears to be a dog. They look very thin, very just almost craved, and like there's just this look in their eyes that they are like starving and needing meat. And then above you, you hear a voice say, and obviously since no one speaks Goblin, you have no idea what the fuck they're saying. So, top of the round, Tieran, you're up.
Okay, so first of all, can these 2 things here see me?
Currently, they're more concerned about what's in the pit. You guys are up above, looking down onto it.
Right.
So there's like a pit with a ring around the outside where our enemies are, and then we're standing above them.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm gonna quietly. Nope, move over here. As I'm doing that and just quietly unsheathing my sword, and I'm gonna strike at the guy standing there.
He's down a level, so it's like it's a 3-tiered level. So there's you guys up at the top. There's then another kind of platforming thing underneath. That's why this is a little hard to visualize. But
no, that's fine.
And then there's the pit that's even down below that has a ramp that kind of
we're on the
goes down into it.
uppermost platform.
You guys are on the uppermost. You guys are up where you would have entered. Then there's about
so
like
that
10
guy's
feet
on the second, and
about
then
10
the
feet down.
pit is the third.
About 25 feet in total.
Okay, so would I be able to? I mean, well, you know what? Fuck it. Would I be able to get over to him in one move? I should be able to.
You're gonna have to drop down. Oh, shit.
What just happened?
Oh, guys.
Pasta.
Okay. Would that take my whole action, or... Because I have a lot of movement speed to use for, like, rough
you'd have to
terrain
do an
and whatnot.
acrobatics check.
Okay, so I can do that? I'll do an acrobatics check. I'm going to try and drop down so that I can move over here. Acrobatics. Oh, that's not brilliant. Okay. Only +3 on that. Let's see. 20. Not natural, but 20.
You managed to see where you're landing. You managed to see that there is a platform underneath. You jump, drop down, and you're able to drop down. You kind of land in this 3-point landing, and using your shield kind of as a buffer on that for that third prong point. And you ready your sword? Go for it.
Okay, yep, so I guess, alright, so I'm just going to attack this motherfucker with my longsword, so... 18.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, so, oh, I do a lot of damage with this. Let's see, D8, where are you, D8? There you are. 7 and 5 is 12.
Fantastic. You raise your longsword. You bring it down. This goblin has really no idea that you're kind of right there. You take your longsword. You bring it down straight onto the top of his head, basically cleaving it in two at that point.
That's hot. That's sexy.
It takes a second for your sword, like, his eyes look up at it, and then kind of roll back in his head, body limp, and it takes a second for you to kind of get your sword out of his skull as he collapses to the ground.
Okay, so I know I can't, like, move anywhere, or, like, I don't have a bonus action, but would I be able to, like, look around and see if there's any place that I would be, at a later time, able to tie a rope off? Just for my reference.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can look around, but you can look around as you know. But you do notice that kind of underneath where you guys are, underneath the ledge that the rest of your party is standing at, there is a gradual incline that leads down into the bottom of the pit.
Oh, okay. So I wouldn't need to do that anyway. All right. Well, then my turn's over.
Okay. Over to Salix.
So I'm looking down in the pit, right? So I'm gonna move here.
Is that still a drop down, or?
That would be a drop down at that point. Yeah.
Oh. So okay, looking from above. I'm gonna fire my crossbow at let's see, this fellow over here.
You currently had your mace out, so it'll take an action for you to pull out your crossbow.
Tyrion, how did you get down?
I jumped and nailed an acrobatics roll. So.
Okay.
I just sort of hopped down there using my elf-like grace and agility. So best of luck, human.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make that jump.
It's about 10 feet. It's about 10 feet from where you're at.
I'll be right back.
I hit 17 on an acrobatics check plus my dex, so
Right.
it could have been really bad for me. But what the fuck? I did it anyway.
Yeah, well, okay. I pull out my crossbow.
Okay, so Salix, you pull out your crossbow, you get a bolt, you get ready to go. And that takes us down to... Vanguard. You're currently laying down on the ground.
I thought I asked to already stand up.
Yeah, he stood up.
Okay, so you stood up.
Alright, so I look around. What do I see around myself?
You see currently a bunch of starving dogs standing all around you.
Alright,
They
awesome.
look hungry and they want meat.
My God, sounds like my high school reunion.
So I'm going to turn to the ones to the side of me, and Ryven's the one next to me, right?
That's Karma, actually.
Oh, Karma. Karma, you get the ones on the opposite side of me, and I'm going to move forward and swing at the nearest dog.
Yep.
And I'm rolling with my axe.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack.
And what do I add on top of that?
Your proficiency bonus for the battle axe, and then
I'm sorry.
I think it's your strength.
For attacking with a battle axe would be plus strength plus 2.
This is a +6, +4, actually.
It would be your strength. It would be your strength modifier plus then another 2 on top of that for proficiency. 12. Is that what you hit?
No, 14. Sorry, I didn't add the proficiency.
Okay, so 14. That'll just barely hit.
What the fuck? Alright, I need to roll a perception check because I can't find my bottle opener.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for damage. You take your axe, you raise it up high, and you go ahead and slam it into one of the dogs. What do you roll for damage?
Alright, I'm getting this figured out here.
12. Solid. All right, you slam it down into the dog. It barely grabs the side of it. The dog kind of lets out this little in pain as it takes the damage, but then turns back at you and starts growling again. Right, Ryven, you're up.
All right. Does it take any movement to jump down to this first ledge? That
It'll take half your movement in an acrobatics.
all right.
Acrobatics check.
40 feet. All right, so I'm gonna drop. Initially, I'm gonna see how far I can get to this guy over here.
Okay.
So acrobatics checks the D20 plus acrobatics modifier.
Bless your acrobatics modifier.
That's a 19 plus 6.
Yeah. You jump off the edge, basically you jump off the edge, you land 3-point landing right onto the ground, and at that point you are probably right about here. That, like, subtle.
Alright. That's 20.
What's your movement currently?
40.
So it took you 20 to get down there, so you could probably get to about here.
Yeah, I'll do it. Move that far.
Okay, go for it.
And then I'm gonna take one of my darts and use it as my attack and fling it at this guy over here.
Okay, did you have anything prepared for when you were jumping down?
No.
Okay, so it'll take
my action to prepare.
It'll take your action.
Ready a dart?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess your dart technically would either be up your sleeve or on your belt. So.
I don't know.
Finesse weapon. For shits and giggles, I'll just say, just go ahead and make the attack roll.
Okay, that'll work. It's a 13. I don't think I get a modifier to that. No, I do, because it's a monk weapon.
Yep.
So 13, 17, 19 to hit. And that's a 1d4. It's a 4.
Plus anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I have proficiency in it, so maybe 2. But I don't think I get a dexterity modifier
not
onto
for
it.
damage, it wouldn't. Okay, cool. Alright. So it deals 4 damage, solid. You take the dart, you basically just whip your arm straight up, and all of a sudden a dart just slides right out of your sleeve, sailing right at this guy. It slams into his chest, and he's just like, ugh, and all that fun jazz. Alright, ooh, this will be fun. Okay, so this goblin guy, now seeing where this dart came from, moves over, and, actually no, he stays where he's at. He takes aim with his takes aim with his bow, and fires, and unfortunately the dart completely sails right over your shoulder. God, I'm rolling like shit tonight. Okay.
Keep it up, man. Keep it up.
This doggy moves here. This doggy moves here. Here.
I don't get to move this turn.
You're not. It hasn't been your turn yet.
It's not your turn in the initiative order.
And then there. Okay, so that's how that's gonna work out. All right. So where's my?
And also, we don't get opportunity attacks. I don't.
Not when you get an opportunity attack if it moves away from you. If it has not moved away from you, you don't get an opportunity. Where is? Okay. All right. At Karma, let's see. All right. So Karma, you're going to take.
No, I do get my dexterity modifier to that.
7 points of piercing damage. Vanguards. Shit. Alright, so Vanguard, all 3 dogs kind of try to jump and bite and attack you, but unfortunately they're unable to find any form of, like, flesh. They kind of just, like, their teeth and their claws just scrape against your armor, not really able to finding any form of damaged portion or area around. Karma, unfortunately, 2 of the dogs are able to get through, and they deal you 7 damage worth. That's with different bites. You feel their teeth and their claws.
Can I use my protection so that he doesn't get damaged?
I think protection's more for you. I'm not sure if it's for others.
Oh, it says protection. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose a disadvantage on the attack roll.
I'm not sure if he's within 5. He's 10 feet away from you.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so that's them, and over to Matron. Yes, that's correct.
Are you back, buddy? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, I'm guessing before we end this, I said I put my longbow away and pulled out a torch. So will I have to burn a turn getting my longbow back out?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, good deal. We'll do that.
All right. Now, Karma, it's your turn. So, Matron, you drop. Matron, you drop your torch down to the ground. You ready your bow. You get ready to pull it out and just start firing at whatever decides to start moving an attack next.
Okay.
All right, Karma, you're up.
I'm going to immediately disengage.
Okay.
And then
properly.
And then I'm going to move. Oh Jesus! This is not looking good, guys. Can I jump up to the second tier?
You can probably run up the ramp, but it's about a 15-foot. It's about a 15-foot jump from where you're at to the next tier up.
I can't make it from anywhere else in the pit, only up the ramp.
You could probably go up the ramp, and that's probably about it. Hold on, I'm checking something on disengage though. I mean, go ahead and tell me what you're going to do, but check something on disengage.
Okay, so this right here is the bottom of the ramp. This up here is the top of the ramp. Then.
Yep.
Okay, so then I could just barely make it to the top of the ramp. I'm going to immediately disengage, so that way I don't trigger opportunity attacks. I'm going to move to the top of the ramp. So right there.
Okay.
So I'm going to shadow step and then run all the way up there.
Pretty much, yeah. What is this? Nice. Okay, it's not a spell. Okay, so you're gonna shadow step. You're gonna get up there, pretty much. You can take a bonus action each turn.
What are my options for bonus option?
That was your bonus action.
Yeah.
So your bonus action was to disengage. While I'm still trying to find it.
Yeah, I disengage right away. I have a regular action left.
Yeah, that would be your attack action then.
No, you can disengage as an action.
I'm trying to find the disengage portion in here.
So,
it counts as a bonus action. My cunning actions count as a bonus action, so I still have a regular action left.
Okay, disengage is on page 192, Shadow.
Thank you.
So after actually, I can attack.
Because
I
I
can
was
attack from
gonna say,
here.
because you have like 3 different enemies. Gate 392. You said. That's what I'm trying to find.
192.
There we go.
192.
Taking disengage, your move. If you take the disengage action, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks from us. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're fine.
So
I just want to make sure it wasn't like all 3 of them were attacking.
Yeah, I immediately disengage and then go up here. That takes up all of my movement, but then I still have an action left, and I have my crossbow equipped currently.
Yep,
So I'm gonna
heavy hand
fire. I'm gonna fire at that dude right there.
Okay.
So let's go down to crossbow. Here it is, +3 to hit. So this +3 equals 21 total.
Yep.
Nice. Nicely
And then-
done.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
Damage is a 1d6 +1. So 4.
All right. All right. So you take your crossbow. The bolt zooms towards the doji. You see the bolt pretty much just embed itself into its back. The dog all of a sudden crumples in defeat. Dead against the floor. Okay. And Clarissa, over to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay up here on this 3rd tier, and I'm gonna cast a firebolt down into this dog, I think.
Okay. What's the radius on firebolt?
It's 120. There is no radius. It's single target.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wish I had some AOE spells right now. All right, so let's hit.
All right. So Clarissa, you start to gather that arcane fire magic energy back in your hand, forming that nice little fireball that we all know and love just to watch. Go ahead and roll for attack.
This is gonna be sad. I rolled a 5.
Okay. Ooh, even better. I like this.
I don't like
part's-
that laugh.
This part's fun. I like this part. So you basically chuck your fireball down at the dog. It lands off target. Go ahead and roll 2d10s, please.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
You hit me, didn't you?
I get my twist fate back, so small consolation. All right, so let's see. We've got an 86.
86. Okay. 86 is. I'll tell you 1 second. I have to find the thing so I can tell you what actually happens. Because it could be kind of cool.
My player's handbook is all the way on the other side of the room.
It's okay. I've already got it pulled up. So as your firebolt arcs and misses, you feel this weird arcane energy that you've known since a child start bubbling towards the surface. 3 illusionary duplicates of yourself appear in your space.
Oh, God.
So there is now all of a sudden 4 Clarissas that kind of just seem to
Tell me we can get 4 tokens
standing.
in here.
They're now just kind of standing there. 3 of them kind of seem to shimmer a little bit with arcane energy, but there's one that is very
Corporeal.
very corporeal and very still there. So
She just kind of looks around like confused, like, what? All right, that's it for me.
okay, cool. Back to the top. Tyrion.
Okie dokie. Okay, so... Alright, I can... 35. I think that's my... Yeah, 35 is the max I can move. Okay, so... What are my options for getting down into the pit?
You could drop, or you could run over to where Karma's at, and then run down the thing.
Alright, so let me just do... Hold on, this is for
Run down the ramp.
instructive purposes.
That's 15.
So that's 25. Okay, that's plenty. I'm going to do that. Move here. And My longsword is out. It's got all sorts of blood and brains on it, so I'm gonna just swing it down on that dog.
Go for it.
So my D20.
All right, rushing to the edge of the pit, you basically run down the little ramp, running straight at a dog that you can tell is just way too skinny for what its own good is.
15 to hit.
Yep, that will just barely hit. Go ahead with
Alright,
damage.
just barely is enough for me. 1d8 plus 5, 7 damage.
Solid. You bring your sword down, arcing across the back. You leave a nice gash right across it. The dog gets the dog. Oop, no, that. The dog gets slammed. It wheels around and starts growling at you, right at you. Really, really angry at it.
Can I use a bonus action and flip him off with my shield hand?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, there we go.
The
I don't
dog's-
actually have a bonus action, but I'm flipping the dog off. He can't understand it, but I'm doing
It's
it.
cool. The dog doesn't really understand it. Just growls at you more.
It's fine. Flipping bird with the hand that's holding my shield.
Okay, go for it.
I support that message.
And continue on. That's
Right, Salix, over to you.
I'm gonna fire my crossbow.
shit's ready now.
Yeah, shit's ready now. Oh wait, 220 range doesn't matter. I'm gonna attack. Say this one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for attack.
Damn bow. 18.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Seven, 8 points of piercing damage.
8 points of piercing damage. All right, you take a bow, or you take an arrow out of your quiver. You pull back, fire right at that dog that is currently not really doing anything. The bolt zooms straight towards it, lands square in its back, and now just kind of sticking directly out of it. How much you said? 8?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That dog is having a pretty rough day. He's not gonna make it. Okay, and over to Thangart.
Well, I am going to turn and swing at this dude.
Okay.
And I'm rolling.
Does 5th edition have a flanking bonus?
Yes, it would. Oh, so, yeah.
21.
Like that.
Then I need to roll
Shit. Yeah, that hits.
58 plus 4 for damage. 10.
Okay, so you take your battle axe, you swing at the dog. The axe comes down, slashing right across his face. Actually, it doesn't even do that. It basically just comes swiping at the dog. You feel it sink right into the front of its face, but you end up chopping off a good portion of his head. It crumbles down to the ground.
Alright, so I can still move, right?
Yep, you still have movement now.
I move towards these other three.
All right.
And I'm going to use my, sorry, just a second. I'm going to use my action surge, which gives me a second action.
Yep.
And I'm going to swing at, this guy. And,
Swinging at that guy.
yeah, the dog to the right. The
13,
right
13 does not hit him.
Alright.
So you take your axe, you swing, completely misses.
Alright.
Unfortunately.
That's all I got in me then.
Alright. Alright, we are over to Ryven.
Alright, will pulling out my short sword while moving towards him count as my action?
Well, how do your darts work? Are your hands empty?
Currently,
Yeah.
his hands are empty. If you attack with your
You can unsheath a sword. I was looking at the list of things you can do. By the way, there's some interesting stuff here. A few examples of the sorts of things you can do in tandem with movements in action. draw or sheath a sword, open or close a door, extinguish a small flame, and my personal favorite, drink all the ale in a flagon.
I like it. Perfect.
Indeed.
Tap
All
the
right.
floor with a
Yeah,
10
you can do
foot
that if
pole.
you want.
Yep.
I
So
would-
taking up my sword, moving up to this guy.
Go for it.
From now on out, I want to do that action, drink all the ale in a flagon every single
Every time.
Yeah,
How
we
many-
don't have
see,
any.
you
don't
flagons of
have
ale,
any ale at the
unfortunately,
moment.
But we
I
can
was gonna say, how many-
rectify that when we're in town.
Just refill your flask.
Yeah, I feel like too many of those flagons, you'll start rolling attacks with a disadvantage. Just saying.
Yep, it will happen, unfortunately. Okay.
So I'm taking a swing
Okay, taking a swing with your fist.
with my sword.
Oh, with your sword. Sorry.
13?
Unfortunately, as you take your sword, you swing and you miss. Just goes zooming right past it. The goblin kind of tends to kind of bounce away a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna punch him with my bonus action.
Go for it!
Square in the face.
All right. So as you swing forward with your sword, you completely miss. However, with that, you spin around. You spin around, bringing your bringing your other fist pretty much in this giant tornado, slamming your fist right into his face. Go ahead and roll for attack. See if
That's
it hits.
22.
Oh yeah, that fucking hits.
Yeah, that was a 16 plus shit ton of dexterity.
Yeah.
Well, 6.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
3.
I feel like we're doing something wrong there.
I'm pretty sure I'm doing this wrong. I think I get
I
my
know, I'm
dexterity
trying-
Okay.
modifier.
I can't
It
see
says
the dex.
unarmed strikes. 1
What page are you on?
plus strength. I'm in the combat thing, man.
Well, I can use
But-
my dexterity in place of strength.
Right. So.
Yeah, but that's normally for the actual attack roll, not the damage though.
Okay, then an unarmed strike is 1 plus strength modifier. Just there's
Or-
no roll. Well, I don't know how substitute.
I was gonna say it's gotta be
strength
something different
works.
from monks though.
It's different for monks.
Well, then it would be 1. The only thing would be 1 plus dex.
It's
maybe? I don't
1d4.
know.
It's
Is it 1d4? Okay.
Yeah,
just a straight up
1d4. Once you get to the 5th level, it turns to a 1d6.
Which I can use for everything.
Oh.
Once
Alright,
you get
so
to the 11th, it
3
turns to
damage.
1d8. Once you get to its 17th, it turns to 1d10. So 3 damage, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So as this fist comes pretty much basically out of nowhere, this goblin's eyes kind of widen as this thing slams into his face. He now has blood gushing out of his nose. He now has
Punch
a
him in the
bolt
face.
sticking out of his chest. He's having a pretty rough day. Pretty bad. All right. Okay. It is okay. So this goblin is going to take a shot at you. Fuck. Damn, I can't roll. He takes an arrow, fires, completely misses again. God, this guy's
What are you rolling?
bad tonight.
Crit fail again?
No, it's just bad. Oh my God. Okay. Tyrion, this doggy jumps forward, slams his teeth right into your arm.
Holy shit! You couldn't have rolled that badly.
No. How does a 20 versus your AC go?
Oh, that hits.
Then,
That hit.
you take 7 points of piercing damage from his bite attack.
Okay.
All right. And Sandgart, you take. Ooh, shit. Okay. So one of them. So this one right here gets a nat 20 on you.
Oh.
Oh.
It's 11. 11 points of damage. The other two absolutely just don't. The other two basically try to like strike at you, but unfortunately your armor's too thick. The other one is able to find some purchase in probably right along your shoulder blade. It kind of hurt a little bit, but you might leave a little bit of a scar. Okay, Madrum, you're up.
Yay. Oh, I know. I'll be able to hit that. Okay. Longbow. Let me get my sheet up. 1d8 plus 3. Here it is. So I'm gonna go after that guy right there.
Okay, go for it.
So. Oh wait, no, I gotta roll for attack first. Sorry.
Yep, go ahead and roll for attack.
7 plus. Is it dexterity?
Yep.
So 7, 8, 9, 12
12 does not hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
Your arrow goes clattering against the floor and just is laying down there currently. Right. Karma, you're up.
Karma is going to. This guy right here is damaged, right?
Yes.
That dog.
That one's having a pretty bad day.
One has a crossbow bolt sticking
As
out.
is that guy.
Yeah, that guy is also having a pretty bad day. This one's got this guy over here has a dart sticking out of him. This one has a crossbow bolt sticking out of him as well. Both of them kind of look like porcupines if they only had one needle.
Okay, Karma's gonna move up. Shit.
I'd like to point out to you guys, I have Lord of the Rings music playing in my ear set right now, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of epic to listen to.
Karma's gonna move back here. And
That would move you. You would be trying to jump up back up to where you were.
oh, really?
You did that.
Oh, that blue line. Okay, never mind.
That's the wall.
Okay, so I was right here.
Yep.
Hang on a second. I'm just gonna go here to try and measure. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go right there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack. Yeah, I'm gonna attack this dog with my crossbow. That
Okay.
one right there.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack.
Okay.
You load a bolt. You take aim.
And then with my crossbow, I get +3 to hit. 17.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, and then it's 1d6 plus 1. Oh, that was a d20. It didn't
So-
change it.
So 3.
Yes, 3 total.
All right. So your crossbow bolts. You take aim. You fire. The crossbow bolt goes and slams right into its back. With that, the dog kind of seems to lose the life in its eyes, and it kind of slumps down against the ground. All right. Anything else?
Can I, where I am, since I'm on the upper tier, can I try and hide, or am I in the sight of enemies?
You could try, but you're pretty much inside of everything around you. Like everything pretty much knows where you're at. You've been firing crossbow bolts all over the place.
I'm gonna try for a hide for my cunning action, just because why not?
Okay, go for it.
12 plus 2, so 14.
You basically press yourself against the back of the wall, and you are there trying to blend in. It's not working that well.
Okay.
If there was any enemy that was actually looking at you at the moment, that didn't know where you were at, it would probably be like, what the fuck is that guy doing? All right, that brings us down to Clarissa again.
Okay, so
Which one?
All of them,
all
actually,
four of them,
surprisingly.
actually.
Wait, is that how that works?
Yep, it's all of them. They now take their action. They all now take their action exactly at the same time.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So which one of these doogies is uninjured?
You've seen this one. You've seen this one over here take some damage. You haven't seen either of the other two take damage yet. Either.
He also got the middle finger from an elf.
Yeah, he did get the middle finger.
So
from the elf.
there's
It was kind of
probably
hot.
some emotional damage.
Alright, so I'm just gonna stay where I am while confusedly and sort of talking to the mirror images of me that unexpectedly appeared.
You seem to be having a nice, pleasant conversation with each other. It appears to turn to last night for some odd reason, and then appears to stop talking altogether. So it was a very odd and interesting conversation you said. Anyway, so what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast magic missiles on this guy.
Fuck yeah, magic missiles! Love that
Magic
guy.
missiles!
Go for it.
My favorite spell. Alright, 3d4 plus 1 plus all my modifiers.
Plus everything. That's really
Yeah, magic missiles is really good when you're proficient in attack rolls. Alright, here we go.
Magic missile, a first level spell.
Yep. So it does use a spell slot, but it does a ton of damage. Although I rolled rather poorly there.
So what'd you roll?
It's in the chat because I don't have D4s.
13.
Oh, okay, so you rolled 13 damage against which one?
The hair up.
Okay, cool. Yep. So you basically take. It's a very bizarre. It's a very bizarre sight because you see yourself raise your hands and point all of your fingers directly at this dog. But then out of the corner of your eye, you see all three of your duplicates do the exact same thing. And so as you are concentrating, the arcane energy circles around your hand. You feel the magic fire off as the missiles streak straight towards the dog. You also see the same thing happen from the other three that have currently done the exact same thing. So as soon as yours impacts, that dog drops dead. You see the other what you assume to be arcane missiles from your illusionary sisters, basically, hit the dog maybe about 2 seconds after yours do, but unfortunately there's no dust or no anything after that comes from the actual impact.
Go us! Alright, that's it.
And back to the top for Tyrion.
Okay.
Wait, it's back to Tyrion again? What happened to Salix?
Salix, yeah, what happened to Salix?
Yeah. What happened to my turn?
You're second.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, didn't you shoot something? With a crossbow?
Okay.
Yeah, you shot a dog, man.
Yeah,
a doggy, sorry.
You shot that dude.
A doggy.
A doggy.
Doggy.
Say it right then, Guard.
Doggy.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna finish this bitch off right in front of me.
It's Bish.
So... oh, that'll hit. 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, I know. Alright, come on, D8. Let's finish this bitch off. That is gonna be 8 points of damage. Thank God I get to add +2 to all my melee damage rolls, because I haven't rolled above a 3.
You take your sword and you basically strike straight at the dog, and the dog is not able to dodge out of the way. The blade pretty much just goes straight through the brain and then out the back of it.
Man, I really like stabbing me some brains. All right.
You gotta eat them brains.
Okay,
dude.
so
Gotta eat them brains.
I'm then going to. Can I get up here?
Where?
Like here.
You'd have to go up the ramp.
Okay, so let
and
me
then
just
you
do
can
some
go.
quick. So that's 10.
Basically, the ramp is encompassing this.
Right. So.
The ramp is
I
15
gotcha.
feet. The ramp is 15 feet up, though.
Well, but it's on an incline, so it wouldn't actually be
It's
going
an incline,
15
so you can run up.
Yay,
it.
science! Alright, so 15. Oh, okay, so that was 10, so I can go. Fantastic. Alright, well, I'm gonna get out of this pit, because that dwarf looks like he can handle himself. And I'm gonna go over to this guy, and that is. I'm gonna get behind him.
Yes, the
It's like
dogs are
25.
feral dogs, guys. They are starved, they are feral, they are attacking you for no reason. They were the ones that initiated the attack.
They're evil
Somebody's
dogs.
wife likes dogs. They're not like puppies.
Alright, let me
They're
just
not little
double
dogs.
check
These
if
things
that's
are.
kosher.
These things have been beaten. Well,
Yes, that is
Shadow-
kosher.
Shadow
I can move there.
Vanguard
My turn
says,
ends.
I'm sorry, my wife is listening in. Can we
I-
please
that's
Oh,
why
yeah,
I was
we just
clarifying.
answered.
Well, I was clarifying.
Yeah, okay, that's kosher. I can move there.
Yep.
I am there. My turn is over.
Okay, cool. Right, Salix, you're up.
I'm gonna fire my crossbow at the last remaining dog. Dogie.
Dogie.
You bring your crossbow up. You've
Carol
already
Dogie.
reloaded. You take aim.
That's a thing. 20?
What was that? Add 20?
No, not nat 20.
Aw, sad.
I'm still waiting on my
Yep, that'll,
first nat 20.
that'll hit.
Rolled a nat 1. Was kind of
Yeah,
hoping to roll the nat 20 first, but
5 points of piercing.
How much?
5.
Oh, solid. Nice. So the dog the arrow buzzes down straight, almost like a bolt out of heaven, basically slamming into the dog's upper back, to almost the shoulder area. The dog kind of reels from it, letting out a whimper, and then refocuses his attention back on Vanguard, looking a little confused on where this arrow that is now currently protruding out of its back came from. Down to Tyrion.
No, I went.
Sorry, Vanguard, my bad.
I mean, I'll go again.
Now I'm with Vanguard.
I got my sword out. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, the last remaining feral dogie.
Okay.
20. Oh, that was a fail. Sorry. Again.
Yeah, that'll hit regardless.
No, he rolled 20 plus 6, so it's, yeah.
That works.
Okay, well, that'll hit.
It's still 15. It'll still hit.
Mhm. And damage.
That should fucking stay up.
Yeah. You basically take your axe, you aim straight for the neck of the dog. As you bring the axe right on up, the dog can't really get out of the way, unfortunately, and the axe goes right into its neck, leaving the dog lifeless, kind of just hanging off your axe right now. You have to shake it off.
Like Taylor Swift.
Yes.
God damn it. You beat me to it.
All right, Ryven, you are up.
I'm gonna take another swing at this guy with my sword. Maybe I can actually hit something with something tonight.
Yep.
Hey, you punched him in the face.
21.
Oh, yep, that'll hit.
That'll hit. All right. Hold on. It's 5 plus 9 damage.
All right, how do you want to do this?
Oh, I'm taking the goddamn head
nice.
All right, you want to take his head off?
off.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. All right,
Solid swing.
So, this will be fun. So you basically take your short sword. You raise it up, and it looks like you're about to slam it straight into the guy's head. But at the last second, you alter your swing so that instead of coming straight down onto his head, you end up sliding it right across his throat. Before the goblin even has a second to realize what has happened, there's just blood that just seems to pool from his neck. His head then all of a sudden slides straight forward, going ploop, right down at your feet. His body then crumples down into this just dead heap.
Yeah. I do damage when I can hit things.
Nice. Solid.
That's generally how damage works.
All right. That is out of combat. What would you like to do? You're currently standing with half your party at the top, half your party down at the bottom.
I'm gonna loot this goblin that was just decapitated.
Go ahead and roll for investigation check.
Karma after that. My DJ.
Oh, 19 plus investigation. 21.
All right, you find a short bow. You find 5 arrows, and you find about 20 pieces of gold on this particular goblin.
Fantastic. Does anyone want a short bow? I asked to the party.
Does anybody want a what?
A short bow. I don't care for.
At which point, Karma says, "I have one, thank you. However, a healing spell would be swell." And then he goes to loot his crossbow bolts off of all the various things he shot.
All right, go ahead and make a I guess I would just make a retrieval check.
Yeah, here's a question. Can I retrieve darts, or are they spent?
Yeah, you
can. Alright, I'd like to try to
I'd say you
retrieve
could.
that dart out of that
Yeah.
thing's chest.
Does
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
does that count as investigation?
Yeah, just add your investigation to it.
What time of day is it now?
If for those of you who are up at the top, look back out. You can see the sun starting to set. It's getting pretty late.
All right, it's mine's a 13 total.
Okay, you're able to get how many? You're able to get two of your crossbow bolts back.
Roll to 12 for the dart.
I fired 4, just so you're aware.
Yeah, just keep track. You can get 2 of them back. The other 2 seem to be damaged more beyond repair from the impacts. Yeah, you get your dart back.
Salix yells at Karma. Once we get you out of there, we can heal you. I can heal you back up. And
Karma, Sandgard, Riven, and Tyrion roll an investigation check. Or a perception check, sorry.
Can it be an investigation?
Oh, natural.
I got a natural 20.
Wait, that's
Two natural
That's 2 natural 20.
2 natural 20.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic.
It's D20 plus intel, right?
No, do I actually have to add
Wisdom.
intel?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it was,
20.
It was a group. It was.
I hit a natural 19.
It's there's no such thing.
I was gonna
Scrub.
say it was a. It was
Yeah,
a
level
group
1.
check. It
Get-
So, looking down into so as you're kind of looking now, getting more of a sense around of what this pit is. You look down. The bottom of this pit is very kind of loose gravel, kind of more sandish. And that's the part where Thangard and the dogs are currently lying at the moment. There's a slight little ramp that goes up from the bottom of the pit in order to get up to the second level, where everyone is. It's the second level where everyone is at, and then there's the about 10-foot drop from the upper area that you are at. You do notice, however, directly across from the pit, from the ramp pit, or the ramp of the pit, there's a wooden door that you can see leads farther in.
Is that on the
Is
second
that down
level?
in the pit, or is that on the level that we're on right now?
It is on the level that everyone's on.
Well,
So right-
everybody's on different levels.
Or it would be on the level that Tyrion and Ryder are.
Okay. We're not all on the same level.
I noticed. I figured it out. Sorry, I'm being a bad DM today. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
You're rolling terribly. It's great.
No,
I haven't taken any damage for no reason other than you can't roll tonight for some
Okay,
reason.
so how well lit
Tonight it's
is
so
the
bad.
area that we're in now?
What was that?
How well lit is the area that we're in now?
You currently still have the light that is coming down from Clarissa's little light source that she did. Unfortunately, with the rapidly disappearing sun,
I have low light
there's
vision if that helps.
There's not much else that you can really like.
No, I'm
you can still see
curious
across,
because
but
I want to try and stealth and like slowly open the door if I can.
Shadow.
yeah.
Need I say anything?
Yeah, probably.
I have complete dark vision. What do I see?
Yeah, you can. You can say that. That's fine. Like,
I too have dark vision.
just
that's more kind of seeing in black and white, and you'll only really be able to see for around like 60 feet around you. Like,
Right,
it's not like.
I'm in the
so-
same boat. That's why I want to try and stealth and like peek through the door.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
Okay, so do I need to roll a stealth check, or can I just quietly?
Yeah,
open
you
the
can
door?
pretty much see the entire room. I'm just letting you know for for the other ones else, for like everyone else who's not really like.
I'm more concerned with what's going to be able to see me if I open the door. That's why I'm asking.
I like dark.
Meanwhile, Clarissa, like with her duplicate still in tow, like kind of drops down from the top ledge and awkwardly falls onto the middle level where Tyrion and Riven are right now.
Okay, make an acrobatics check. And
Boy.
everyone who's jumping down, make an acrobatics check. And Clarissa, as you jump down, your duplicates kind of poof and go up in smoke as you're dropping.
Oh, thank God, I can barely take one of them.
Yeah! Yay! I
And,
rolled
S-
a 2.
Salix is gonna tie off a rope and climb down.
Solid. Yep, that works.
I like
Clarissa, what'd you roll?
A 2.
You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you drop and fall on your ass.
I smirk a little bit. That was funny.
Salix yells up.
She kind of bounces a little bit too as she drops. Like it's kind of interesting to watch like a gnome attempt to do this intricate acrobatic drop roll thing,
Seeing
and then all of a
people-
sudden just kind of land and then doom 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 and kind of slides across the floor a little bit. A little interesting to watch.
Salix yells up at Matrim to take the rope down and don't jump.
What? Sorry. I'm back. What was it doing? I'm sorry. Guys,
Climb down
that
the
pain
rope.
medicine's killing me. Climb down the rope? Okay.
Climb down the rope, but don't jump. Everyone's
Okay.
jumping.
Got it.
Alright.
Also, can we bring Gregory down here?
Does he want
Gregory's,
to?
Gregory has been standing at. Gregory did not follow you, and Gregory has been standing at the top of the thing and says, "If it's all right by you, I think I'll stay out here and I'll make a fire."
No, we're gonna make camp in here.
He turns around and walks back out into the clearing and begins doing whatever Gregory does.
Okay, I've changed my mind. Instead of opening the door, I just want to go up there and, like, put my ear to it and see if
Okay.
I can hear anything on the other side of the door.
Okay, make a perception check.
Perception. Okay.
So if he's moving up to the
17.
door,
17.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk up to the door, you press your ear up against it. You close your eyes, kind of listening, trying to hear anything. From what you can hear, there's like a slight dripping of water. You hear the occasional footstep. You hear the occasional footstep that is around in that area.
Like goblin size or like bigger?
Yeah,
No,
from what
okay,
you've
like
encountered,
goblin
you'd
size.
assume.
Okay.
From what you encountered, you'd assume it was goblin size.
Okay, so
nothing
I
ridiculous.
go back to the group and just say, let's stay quiet. They clearly didn't hear our
engagement.
engagement. Yep. But let's stay quiet and regroup. Let's figure out where to go from here.
We should probably make camp either down here or on the surface.
No, I would. Yeah. Okay. I feel like the surface would be better because we'd all have to like climb out, and there's a bunch of doors here. But I'm up for. Are we talking like a long rest?
Yeah,
Make
long
camp? Okay. Well, we don't need to heal. What does the rest of the party think? I mean, how long have we been at this? I'm not talking like real life. Obviously, I know real life.
Karma really needs to heal. So
A long rest would
yeah.
heal you completely.
yeah.
Since the other thing that you noticed as you were gazing about this room is that you noticed that over here, there was a bit of rock that appeared to be not quite in line with the remaining wall around it.
I guess Karma would say, let's go to the entrance and make camp there.
Vanguard's not here. He crashed.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get him back.
So Karma says, let's go to the entrance. Trust me on this one.
What entrance?
Well, to the top, to the mouth.
Oh,
Let's
so
go outside.
You're going to attempt. So you're going to climb back up.
Yeah.
Clarissa's gonna go mess with the rock that looks funny over here. Just like kind of poking at it and playing with it.
All right, Clarissa, go ahead and make a. Actually, you really don't have to do anything. Or no, make a strength check.
Alright. Hey.
If anyone else wants to assist this, you're more than welcome to.
I kind of want to see how this plays out.
What is she doing?
Or
you know what?
Clarissa, I'll say however you want to mess with it. If you do want to do arcane, you can
What is
make
she
an
doing?
arcana.
Yeah,
If-
I'll use Arcana just to like see. I mean, she is a rock gnome, so she would.
I was about to say, or if you just want to like look at it, you can make a perception check. However you want to do it.
I'm gonna use Arcana just to like see if there's anything up with it. Like,
Okay.
Mystically speaking. So
Go and
with
roll
that,
that
I
check.
got a 15.
As much as you can tell, there's no arcana based anything around this door. Or around this slab of.
Does it look like there's a spot for it to? You said there's a rock on the floor, right? Out of place.
There's a rock. There's a rock that there's like this section of the wall that doesn't really appear to be quite in line with the rest of the wall.
Could I? No.
Can I make a perception to see if it like moves? If there's any marks that would, like sliding marks on the floor or something,
Yeah.
like a false door?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
15.
Yeah, you notice marks around where it looks like it would like kind of like pull out, and it would be like it would potentially seems to be a door of some form that would lead down something.
Who looks like the strongest person in our group?
That would probably. I look very strong.
I would say between you and the dwarf, I would say.
Well, if you want to ask me to do something, ask me to
Was
do
it-
something.
You were near me. I'm gonna look at you and go, hey, that door over there looks like it moves. You're big and strong. Use your strongliness.
Strongliness?
Okay.
Dude, I'm weird. I don't really get out much.
That's fair.
Your choice of
Ever.
words intrigues me. It's
So
human,
Tyrion, if you would
half
like
elf,
to.
but I will go. I'll go push on it. Why not?
Alright, so Tyrion goes up.
Can I like push on it with Clarissa? You know,
Yeah.
like a gnome buffer.
I mean, if
no, I'm
Clar-
kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm just
that's
gonna
fine.
go put my. I
Tyrion
gotta
walks
put my
up.
shield away to do this, but I'm gonna keep my sword out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put my shield away and push on it with my offhand. So what do you want me to check there?
You don't
Clarissa
need to.
will
You're-
try to help him.
Oh, I
You
don't
don't
need to. Awesome.
You don't need to.
I push it.
As Tyrion literally walks up and
gonna
like kind of
suck.
starts leaning against the wall with one hand, Clarissa kind of runs up and kind of tries to like push the door open just with her full body, and the door all of a sudden just very easily seems to kind of rotate, or not rotate, but kind of seems to like push inward very, very easily. Looking down this down into the doorway, you see a tunnel that leads all the way down to what appears to be a ladder that leads up.
Up?
Up.
We weren't that far from the, like we didn't go all that far down.
It's
did
only
we?
about a 10, 15 foot like lengthwise tunnel. It doesn't go that far. It literally just
Alright.
goes over that way and then up.
What
yeah,
the
I'm
fuck?
going down
I
that.
Push the door. Okay. Because I'm gonna follow behind him, but I'm gonna follow like 10 feet behind him.
Who's going down the hallway?
I'm gonna stealth and go down the hallway. That's Riven.
Okay, Ryven, go. Just for the sake of brevity, I'll just say you get down to the hallway. You get to the you get to the ladder. You start climbing up the ladder. You run into some debris overhead. After about, I don't know, maybe like 3 minutes of kind of struggling with that, you manage to push up and over your head this giant rock that was kind of blocking your path. It wasn't like a giant rock, but it was like a decent amount of like just kind of rubble that was just above you. And as you poke your head out, you see Gregory sitting directly in front of you, just sitting around a small little campfire that he somehow managed to light. We're not quite sure how that happened, but he somehow managed to light like this little campfire that he's just sitting there, just kind of rocking back and forth, staring up at the stars at this moment in time.
So
gonna-
back outside.
Well, I am. I think. Right. I'm outside now at this point by the fire.
Yeah, you're back outside, and for the sake and based off of what time it is, I will say that that this is where we'll pick it up next session.
Okay.
Which, looking at the calendar, was the next
Are we
thing I wanted to do.
performing a long rest?
Yeah, it'll be a long. Well, that'll be up to you. If you guys want to do a long rest, or if you guys want to do just a short rest and then proceed later on. We can mess with the time fluctuation. I just wanted to see what are people's.
So, real quick question: long rest equals full health, right?
Yeah.
Long rest, would equal full health. It's an 8-hour rest.
What about short?
So it'll take you 2 mornings.
Short consumes
Short's
hit
about
dice.
15
Well, if you
20
wanted to,
minutes,
yeah,
and
you can consume
and you
your
can
hit
use
dice.
to consume them. So currently you have 2 hit dice of whatever you have for.
I mean, long
Rogues,
rest
it
is
would be.
beneficial for our spellcaster.
So currently, I only have 5 hit points left.
Right.
Hurt a
Karma's,
little bit.
Karma's gonna push for a long rest if he can. Or he's gonna he already asked for health back and nobody answered him. So
I mean, Salix did.
Salix said if you got up there.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
we
can hear you.
Did Dengar get healed?
No, we're kind of. You guys are back out. I'm just gonna say for the sake of brevity, you guys are back out in the clear.
Okay, well, what I'm actually going to do is... Okay, so we climb up the ladder. I'm actually going to come down, and I'm going to take my long rest on that ledge and keep a lookout.
So
Okay.
would we all?
I'm gonna join him. That's
Well,
right.
I'm
that'll
gonna-
I
that'll
don't
be
like the
where
fire.
this will be where we're picking up next session. So we're
Okay,
pretty
so
much
we're all gonna take a long.
Okay, fair enough. I was
That's
just
all
Yeah.
right.
we'll
gonna
pick
if
up
there's
we'll
anything
pick up
coming
pretty
out
much
in the
as
middle
you
there.
guys are starting your rest next session.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that works.
okay.
As we're starting our rest.
We'll pick up as you guys are starting your rest at the beginning of the
So
next session.
before
okay,
we
so that
start
means
the
we can't do
rest,
any- there will be no group meet RP for the week then.
What was that?
There won't be any group meet RP for the week then.
You can still group me. It'll just be as though, like, or RP if you want. You'll just be around a campfire.
Okay.
so before we do that, can we real quick? Whoever offered to heal me, since I'm up there with them, can you do that?
Yeah.
Well,
He goes for a long rest anyway.
yeah, but we don't know how that's going to turn out.
We might get ambushed in the middle of the night. I want to be full health, no matter what happens, just in case.
God, Karma's very talkative.
Page 230.
I have been hurt severely in the middle of the pit.
I'm in pain. Help!
I need help. I need assistance. If anybody can offer it.
Um,
Got nothing
who's
for you, buddy.
who's healing him? Who's healing him?
Salix,
All right.
you get 7
Salix.
points back.
Roll a d20, please.
Is this a thing? Do I actually have to make some?
Salix, can you roll a d20? Let me know what you get.
Is this plus my spell attack bonus?
No, this is just in general.
19.
Thank you. Continue.
Oh, okay. 7 points of health returned.
Okay, so I am at 12 out of 13 then.
You can. I mean, you're like. I mean, that's probably about as much as you're gonna get at this point.
Yep.
Okay.
And I say, thank you, kind sir. I owe you one favor of your choice.
That sounds...
Whoa! Like a sexual favor?
That'll be interesting. Okay. All right, so you're gathering around a campfire that Gregory has. Poor little Gregory has somehow managed to construct.
I think me and Tyrion are going back inside.
Riven and
Yeah.
Riven
Yeah.
and Tyrion are you guys standing at the top of the mouth? Like
Yeah, we're not.
area, or
We're
you,
not dropping
or you,
down. Just like
or you're just standing up there. Okay.
like above
Watching that
line.
door.
Okay. Cool.
And I get it. You know, I say to the group, yeah, we shouldn't be. We're staying within earshot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll,
like
yeah,
right within the mouth.
campfires.
Okay.
Campfire is basically like right in this area.
So, I'm gonna throw the short bow on the campfire.
All right, you chuck the short bow on the campfire.
You know,
it starts
just for
crackling,
fuel.
crackling,
No
crackling,
one
pop,
wanted
crackling,
it.
pop.
I don't need
Sell
it.
Like
Oh,
20
you know what? Actually, at this point, can I wander over and get my javelin back? I totally forgot to do that earlier.
You can.
Okay,
I'll just say you get it back for the sake of brevity.
cool.
Okay.
Did you say you threw the short bow in the fire?
Yeah.
Please, sell it.
He could have.
Well, I
And then
can't really
it's
carry
burning.
much more.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'm,
Okay,
I'm
so-
pretty full up. I mean, unless DM's okay with a little leeway in terms of encumberment.
Yeah, I'll give you. I mean, for the, yeah, I'm not too worried about income.
Oh, okay, so before it makes it to the fire, I change my mind and
snatch it out of the
snatch it out before it starts burning.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. This is out of character, out of everything. Are you guys wanting to do a session on the 29th, or are people still going to be out of town at that point?
Gotta look it up. Is that next Tuesday?
It would be two
weeks.
Tuesdays from now. I'm kind of giving us the week of Christmas off,
Oh, okay.
unless people were interested in doing a session.
I
I'm not sure what people's Christmas schedules are like, and I don't
mean,
really mess with that.
Tuesday,
I'll be around.
the 22nd would be fine with me. The
Yeah,